But what were you saying? Their customer support is good.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just like people that like actually know what they're doing and like made these programs themselves will like respond if you're like, I can't get this to work. They'll be like, oh, do this.
The Linux people.
Yeah. So it's all people like who are engineers and like computer scientists who like built these codes, who like were tired of Windows like tracking. And it's also it's not tracked or anything.
Right.
And
that's what PewDiePie's doing. He's trying to build his own.
PewDiePie's on this amazing. Like, have you followed him at all recently?
Not recently. I know the whole lore of classic PewDiePie. I don't know now.
Like like how he got up to like 500 billion subscribers on YouTube, and then like kind of like fell
and then
off.
Who was it that beat him? It was that group of YouTubers.
It was the India channel. That was like they were like
their name. I can't remember.
It was literally funded by all of like Bollywood to get like Bollywood out to the world, and it was just like marketing like random like trailers for movies that didn't exist.
What was it called? Oh my god! Because I remember
it was like K-Tube or something.
Yeah, and it was around 2020. This was not too long ago when PewDiePie got surpassed.
Mr. Beast was funding it. This is back when like Mr. Beast was like wholesome. He was just like starting like random projects. And he was like, what if I made a billboard for PewDiePie?
So PewDiePie recently
was
doing what?
He did that and then he fell off like from posting every day. Now he'll post like once a month. And then he moved to Japan with his now wife Marcia and has kids, lovely family, and they just own property in Japan. And now he's built a fully Linux computer. He's built his own like server, so he's completely off the grid. He's locally sourced to his own server, so no one can like track him anymore.
Yeah.
And then he's building his own AI. He just like started these random projects where he just like spends thousands of dollars learning how to do the things that like you probably like have thought and you're like, what if I built my own computer? I bet I could make it great. Like he's just like, that's what I'm doing with my life now. Like it's all these weird passion projects.
Yeah.
And I think it's the coolest thing.
Well, even like for the longest time, I think it doesn't really matter what he does because he's just kind of so popular. I mean, he's been really popular for a really long time. And I feel like at first he was kind of for a younger audience and then he just kind of gave up on that. Probably after the whole all the controversies, he was like, "All right, well."
I mean, he got canceled like 5 times. Like,
how are we not even gonna try anymore? My favorite one is what was it? It was they were holding up sign. It was a guy holding up signs in Africa, and someone paid the guy to hold up a sign. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look up the picture of what the guy was holding up. Because it's the photo itself of the guy holding the sign. PewDiePie African sign. That's probably all I'm gonna need.
Just pulls up Logan Paul. Suicide Force.
So it's an anti-Semitism thing. In a January 2017 YouTube video, PewDiePie used the service Fiverr to pay 2 men. I think it's saying their names here. It's Sri Lanka. I think it's men in Sri Lanka. To hold up a sign that read, "Death to all Jews." He stated the intent was to show how crazy the website was. Great reason. But the incident led to major controversy and severed ties with Disney. Disney didn't like that.
I know. He lost random sponsors.
Basically, it's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank.
He would just like do those things and call out random people. It was great when he was on his internet beef era.
Yeah.
And he was like taking on like Keemstar.
I mean, well, that used to be a big thing on YouTube. Now it's...
Yeah.
So I hate this, that it's frowned upon now. And like the people who led the forefront of that they're not on it anymore. And recently it kind of came back. If any folks here are chronically online like me, they would know that there was recently another content cop that came out against, I want to say it was, no one could have ever predicted it, but it was against Idubbbz himself. It was a content cop from H3 against Idubbbz. I want to say that's what it was. And it was not received well. And then the Idubbbz thing wasn't really received well. And this was after Idubbbz had already, because it's all just like stupid, petty LA YouTuber drama. Like when you really get into it, it's all so silly. But And neither of them are really right. Like, that's the funny part. It's like watching Real Housewives. Neither of them are right. You just got to pick a side, whoever you like more, basically.
I was like, isn't H3 kind of sketch now?
Well, that's what I'm saying. All these guys from original YouTube, like OG YouTube, Vape Nation, like I would say even H3 podcast was great for a long time.
Yeah.
Like what he was doing with this podcast was fun. I mean, there were some
when
major
he was first,
bombs.
Like, calling people out, that was great.
Yeah, but like for a YouTuber to be doing a podcast, but the podcast is actually kind of where it all shifts in a way. And the podcast is still going on. But like, I mean, like, again, when it first started, around the days when there was a great, like when Sean Evans went on there, that's a great episode.
Oh, yeah.
But the funny thing is, H3 was never a good interviewer. He's just kind of a nice guy. So even that episode, he's a bad interviewer. And he's sitting across Sean Evans, like one of the best interviewers. And he asks me, like, how are you such a good interviewer? And then he just keeps interrupting him as he answers the question.
So he's such a bad interviewer. And like he never tried to get better at all.
Never. And that's actually kind of what made it fun for a while, because it's like, you know, it's kind of fun just to see him, like with the Bill Burr interview. That one's notoriously bad. That's the other one I was going to mention, because that's around the era when H3 podcast was the best. And there was a Bill Burr episode where Bill Burr goes on there, and you could tell H3's nervous, like he looks up to Bill Burr. And there's a point in the podcast where he's like, he wants to pull up a clip. So he's just like, oh, you remember that crazy moment when you were ranting at the crowd? And he's like bringing up the Bill Burr ranting at the crowd moment.
Yeah.
And this is something that H3 would do. He would pull up clips and we would react to the clips. And I think this was after he had already tried to show him other YouTube videos. And I think there's layers to this, right? Like, it's not even just the H3's like awkward and whatever. It's not really that. Bill Burr is also kind of abrasive, and like around this point in time, he was being particularly abrasive in interviews. So he's like, you know, why the fuck are you asking me that? Like, why the fuck you like stuff like this?
Everyone was asking about that, and it was going poorly every time. Like, it was very obvious he did not enjoy that experience.
Yeah.
And like the fact that it went viral was like fun for people, but he hated it. Like every time.
Oh, you mean the Bill Burr?
Yeah, Bill Burr. Like
rant.
he responded poorly every time people brought it up. He was like, "Don't talk about that." Like he had a terrible time.
And that's why it's funny when H3 does it, because this was after the interview was already kind of going awkward. And then he's like, all right, well, shifting gears, like, let's pull up this clip. And so then now Bill Burr's like, oh, okay, now you're going to do that. Oh, okay, well, here we fucking go. Let's watch a video of me. You know, I don't want to watch this. Like, he basically just tells him, why the fuck would I want to watch this? It's a bomb. But
it's like a bad time and a clear crash out. Like,
and by the way, folks, around this time, Bill Burr went on Theo Von's podcast, and that also went poorly. So it's kind of funny because
Bill
you can
Burr
almost say it might have just been Bill Burr. It might have been that Bill Burr was just upset around that time.
Yeah, he had a bad podcast run in that era.
Arguably a good podcast run. Angry Bill Burr is probably the best Bill Burr.
I mean, it is his most viral clips.
I would like if he showed up. If I was finally interviewing him, he shows up and he was not nice to me. I feel like I would be getting the right version. I would be taken off guard, but I feel like, oh, this is what I've trained for. I should have been ready for this.
He's definitely gonna bust your balls anyways.
Nowadays he's nicer. Back then he was meaner. But anyway, okay, grand point. So H3, he was doing Content Cop, and that was a big thing at that time. And H3 actually got big off of, I mean, it was Vape Nation, but it was also, he would do reaction videos. So it's a video of somebody online, and he's kind of making fun of them and teasing them, like, oh, look how silly this person is. And over time, they just kind of stopped doing all this. H3 especially just kind of stopped making content and started focusing on the podcast, which is whatever. But people like the content. People didn't really care about the podcast. And then with Idubbbz, whole other thing, because he had his whole Content Cop thing that he was doing for a long time, which was fantastic. I mean, that was like, again, see, this is, I'm gonna kick him out because this is exactly how it goes. Yeah, so Content Cop was great because it was like he was criticizing other YouTubers. It was like a YouTuber takedown thing, and that's kind of why I even brought the whole thing up, because that was big at that time, and I think that's what kept YouTube kind of in line and good. Is you can't be like a Keemstar and just be like a drama alert guy, and you can be, but you can't cross certain lines, or else you're gonna get a Content Cop and you're gonna get one of these things. And I like that. And H3, he would call out people first.
Kind of like started that trend of people calling out people on YouTube, and then everyone was like, "Wait a minute, this guy sucks!"
He says, "Why are you calling out me?" Oh my God,
they looked at him for 5 seconds, and they were like, "Oh my God, he's got so much on him."
Dude, Keemstar is so many of these people are like straight up characters. So anyway, it just went bad. That's kind of where it all goes. They kind of rejected all their earlier stuff, and they just said no. And really,
it was the era Twitch came in. I think everything started to fall off.
Maybe
the wheels.
It could have been, because that is right around the time, and also like Reels and TikTok, and when everything became shorter, maybe that, because also. I remember when I really realized it was bad, because it was Idubbbz, and he was on the guy from Smosh's podcast. And I don't know, I can't remember the guy from Smosh's name.
Anthony Ian?
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah.
Shout out you for remembering. Yeah. So it was one of them, and they were interviewing him, and the angle that Idubbbz was taking was basically, rejecting all of that. Like saying, like, I don't really agree with the person I was back then, and the reason I've changed now is because I realized I was attracting people that didn't agree with the things that I agree with, and I didn't want to attract those people anymore. But again, there's a whole other layer to this, because Idubbbz has a wife, and Idubbbz is known as a cuck now. If you didn't know that whole story, he was forgiving his wife for having an OnlyFans, but it wasn't even that, because I think that's not
what was
a crime.
Idubbbz's biggest video? Like, what was he known for again?
Oh, the N-word, probably. Saying the N-word in front of Tana Mongeau. This is the thing.
I can't remember his face. I know his channel.
Idubbbz was Content Cop, but you don't remember when he went up to Tana Mongeau. It was a Content Cop of Tana Mongeau, Tana Mongeau, and he went to one of her conventions or her meetups, and he goes up to her and he stands next to her and he says, "Say," and then the N-word.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because she had, and the reason he did that, it's not like he's just saying the N-word. She had said the N-word multiple times on like streams before, and she was trying to reject that she ever said it. So that was his way of getting to her, by in front of her saying that. You could argue, whatever, but that was the idea. And now Idubbbz rejects all of this, and a lot of it is I forget. I think it was like, he's even in an interview, I want to say his girlfriend and him had talked about it, or like it's also connected to his wife. Like his wife has influenced his philosophy over his previous content, and it makes one wonder, like, what the fuck is going on here? Because it really seems like a codependent relationship type situation, which I don't give a fuck about. I just want classic YouTube back. Sure. Just give me YouTube back, because it's all gone. Like all that stuff from 2010 to 2015, like all that Content Cop, all that. I mean, there's also he became Joji. But his name used to be
Filthy Frank.
Filthy Frank, yeah. I mean, there's all that, like that entire era. Maybe Pink Guy.
Never.
I want another Pink Guy album. That's what I want.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Because you listen to that album, it's just the entire humor of it, the entire idea and the raunchiness and what they were doing back then. We are never coming back to that unless
Filthy
somehow
Frank was ahead of his time. Yeah, truly. But he'll never go. He hates it.
What's weird about it too is, again, like the rejection of all of it, because I think that they just. It's okay. H3. I remember on a podcast, he was really drunk, and it was with like the guy who did internet comment etiquette and somebody else. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't Idubbbz. All these people are now like faceless to me. I can't remember what they look like. I remember their channel names.
It's all the past. It's probably trauma.
You remember the content, but like, I could not pick Idubbbz out of the crowd.
Me, I probably could. Yeah. Probably says something about me, but H3, he was on a pod. I don't even know how to introduce like what he said, because he said he was drunk, and he said, I can say whatever I want, like I'm proving I can say whatever I want, and then he said the N-word and the F word, like if you're speaking about a gay person in succession, right? And he combines these two words, and like, I think you can do anything in comedy. I think you can do anything. I truly do. But I don't think, I think it's all about the intent, right, folks? It's all about how you set the setup. You know, you can't do anything.
What the fuck? Why would
he was just drunk and he just said that. That was basically.
I've been drunk a lot. I've never combined those two.
Because I think, like, in his mind, he's thinking, oh, you know, these people are saying you can't say this, you can't say that. I'll prove you can say anything.
Anyone that says, people keep saying you can't say that just means one of their favorite things to say has been taken away. It just means that they can't say their new favorite phrase.
If you go around saying that, like because if it's brought up to you, whatever. But if you're just going around saying, "Man, you can't say this, you can't say that," it must be on your mind. You must be carrying around words inside your head. Because I like the idea that we can say whatever we want. I think that it's all about context, truly. Like, it's not even, that's the whole point. Like, and I think what happens now is that people, because they reject this idea of you can't say these things, they just say stupid shit just to say stupid shit because they want to be offensive.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, the worst of Austin, right? Because I think Austin has great things, but that's where you're going to get the worst of that, where people just want to say whatever they want because we can here because it's freedom. And it's like, yeah, you can, but that's not the point of like what we're doing. And I just feel like that's the problem, really. It's not even the words, it's everything surrounding the words and how everybody uses the words. That's the problem.
I think it's the people that want to say that. Like, anyone who just wants to say a slur, just wants to say a slur. Like, it's not complicated. I do
think that's true. Because I don't go around thinking, how can I say this? I never
also,
think
like, you can say it by yourself, and you can say anything by yourself, just like you don't say it in front of certain people.
Yeah.
Like, have you no etiquette, like basic manners? Like, how badly do you need to say it that you have to say it when you're not supposed to?
So how do you feel about the Kramer situation? You know, when you look back at Kramer, what do you think happened?
I think that's the funniest stand-up breakdown that's ever happened.
Me too.
And I think the Dave Chappelle Laugh Factory set where he addresses it is so much fun.
What did Dave Chappelle say?
Dave Chappelle just does like it's unlike the old Laugh Factory channel where they used to like put out videos trying to compete with like Comedy Central. And it was Dave Chappelle just going up like, "Do you guys see that Kramer shit?" And then he was like, part of me saw that and like recognized that that's terrible. As a black man, that's a terrible thing that he did. But as a comic, I was like, "Man, you're losing them, Kramer. You got to get it back." Like,
that's funny.
He's really buried himself on this one. Let's see how he digs his way out. Like,
I think I have heard that. That's really funny.
But that's the funniest crash out. Like,
yeah. Oh man.
Seinfeld is the gold star of sitcoms. To have the crazy guy go absolutely insane.
It's in character.
Yeah, it's perfect. Like,
well, yeah. Have you seen the apology thing on Letterman afterwards, where it was?
Oh, I never like looked into Kramer after.
God, you gotta watch it because it's almost as funny as the thing. Because what it is they brought on Michael Richards to apologize afterwards, right? And this is how they were going to handle the situation. And it's Jerry Seinfeld on Letterman. And
interesting.
All right, but he's not like Michael.
Is Kramer doing a top 10?
Michael Richards isn't there in person, all right? So he's calling in. And so or video chat, right? And so whatever it is, they're talking to him and it's them two talking. They say, "Well, let's cut to Michael." They cut to Michael. Michael starts talking and he just starts trying to, sincerely say that he's sorry. But because he is Kramer and he's like that, the audience starts to laugh because they think he's trying to be funny because of his personality. And then Jerry Seinfeld says, "No, stop. It's not funny." Like, he tries to shush the crowd because they're laughing.
Need this for PR.
It's supposed to be a legitimate apology.
He needs this. Jerry's like, "Don't ruin my legacy. Shut up."
Yeah. And so again, it fails. It falls short. And it's just,
what a different time that they even gave him the chance. They're like, "Yeah,
he
go
was
on
trying to do performance
Letterman
art
with Jerry Seinfeld, the biggest name in TV right now, and the biggest talk show in TV right now. Go apologize on TV."
Oh, dude, the whole thing. I mean, the whole situation, but also, yeah, you're right. Like, they would never handle it like that now. Go apologize.
Yeah, and the crowd
TV.
is like, "Yeah, be nice, laugh." Like,
I mean, the closest thing I can think of is
how
like
funny would it be if they had the laugh thing going? Like, that's
shut that off, Jerry says, shut that off.
Oh, my bad. I thought he was killing.
Because I mean, that's the problem. He naturally has a comedic personality. Like, I almost feel like
I think he's the personality of a crazy person.
Yeah.
Which is fun to watch.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly it. It's like sometimes you'll meet people in life and you're like, oh, you're hilarious. You're just a funny person to be around. Like, it's not like they're a good person.
Yeah.
It's that they're really funny.
Like, the best comedians are the most like fucked up. And it's like Robin Williams had bipolar disorder. Like, it's all mental illness at some point.
I think all art is mental illness. This is what people don't realize. This is why it's hard for me to ever parse the two. It's like, I think you have to figure out how much mental illness you're willing to accept within the world if you're going to enjoy art. And also like drug use too. You can't say no to drug use and also enjoy art. It's like those two things because all of it is so closely associated with one another.
Yeah.
You just can't ever separate the two, especially if you start meeting artists and just talking to them. Like, it's as simple as that. Try to start having conversations with artists, like people who like are creative legitimately, and then talk to like, you know, your everyday friends, like people, your coworkers or whoever who don't think like that. It's so radically different.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even, and it's because they're crazy. Like you said, it's because you have to be crazy to even care about something like that. And like, I think to be hyper focused on something like also pretty much something that doesn't exist. If you're an artist, you're basically hyper focused on something that's in your mind that you want to materialize, but it doesn't exist. Like, you're basically crazy.
Yeah.
If you think about that all the time and you're always trying to do that all the time, and it's always like this creative vision in your mind, you're probably a crazy person a little bit. And you'll probably sound like a crazy person. You'll probably talk kind of like a crazy person, but you're also probably smart. I also think crazy people are usually smart, so there's that too. Like, because intelligence doesn't mean not crazy.
Yeah.
Schizophrenic people are really smart guys. Schizophrenic people actually can collect a lot of information. Believe it or not.
Sure.
They connect the dots. The dots might not connect, but they connect the dots. So you see what I'm saying?
That's why I think Gen Z is going to be really boring, because they're all saying no to drugs and they're all trying to improve their mental health. And it's like, what are you going to have to talk about? Like,
you guys are just going to be really like milk toast.
like, I remember growing up on the DARE program, which is just like, I dare you to do drugs. And like, that's all they did was like, oh, if you go to a park late at night, someone will try and sell you drugs. And then we were all in the back like, okay, to the park late at night? I'll go there. Like, I didn't know where to go to drug dealers before.
Yeah.
And then, we all did drugs and made bad choices. And then, like, that's what I talk about. I don't know what artists will talk about if they're like living good lives.
No, nothing. You can't have a good life and then like make art. You can, but that's rare. I think you can't. Like, I don't think it's a myth, but I think it's like good meaning even in your mind. Like, I think you could have a good life on the face of it, but you're probably like going insane if you're making art, like just because of that mental thing. But you might have like a good life with the things that you have. It might seem like your life is good.
Yeah. Like,
other people might think that.
You can have fun. You can enjoy your life. But like, how many artists that had good lives do you really respect?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and like, it's the whole thing with like, if you have, if you're a person who has layers and duality because you grew up that way, you want to shelter your kids from that kind of thing because you want your kids to be safe and be happy and not have those problems you had. But also, those problems you had made you exactly who you are. So you can't overdo it. There's like that whole puzzle where it's like every person who knows this does that exact thing and shelters their kid and wants to have their kid have the best life. Everybody does because it's just a natural instinct. Yeah. But it's not that makes you amazing.
I don't think it helps anything.
I think it makes to shelter a kid.
Yeah, like shelter. Like, you can't stop. Like, they're just gonna make either the exact same mistakes because you told them not to. Yeah. Or different mistakes that'll hurt them in the same way.
I like to think that my parents gave me the perfect amount of negligence. Like, they just didn't really. They didn't really over embrace anything I ever did. They never really paid too much attention to me. But they never. It was always clear that my parents cared about me. Sure. But they never like. And maybe it's because I was later on. So my dad and my mom had me and my sister, and then all the other kids are with different dads. But so maybe it's that I'm later on. I'm at the end of this where they're having my mom's having her last two kids.
How many siblings do you have?
So I had 3 sisters and 2 brothers. One of my brothers passed away, but that was on my dad's side with a different mom. So it's just all this. Really, I have one sister who's like full brother and sister. Everybody else is a half. But so maybe it's that, but I just feel like so also I'm going between 2 households because my parents divorced when I was young. So maybe that's part of it too. But I just feel like I'm so glad. Like, even with my music, like, it was never a thing where my parents were like, oh, great job. Like, let me hear your music. Like, show me more. I never got that once. And I think because of that, I have 0 expectations from anyone ever. Like, I never expect anyone to be nice to me or say, like, oh, good job. Like, I'm surprised when people do that, always. Yeah. And even when my parents do it, it's more meaningful, like, now. And so I just think, like, I think there's no perfect parenting. I just don't even think that exists. Right. Everybody hates their parents for whatever reason they want to choose. Oh, my parents didn't do this. My parents didn't do that. But like ultimately, you're an adult now, so just learn from what your parents didn't do and just do better, because that's all you can do. Because your parents are also adults that just were kids once.
Yeah, they just messed up. Like, it's not their fault. They just tried their best.
Dude, all of us. I think all of us are just fucked up in ways we don't like to share.
Yeah.
So
very true.
So it's exactly that, and especially your parents. Like, that's the big lesson you learn when you get older. Like, oh my God, my parents were like just as fucked up as I am.
Yeah, it's kind of sad once you see your parents for who they are.
Exactly.
You're just like, I shouldn't have been so hard on you. You didn't know what you're doing. Like, if anything, you had less than I had. Like, you gave me everything you had, and it still wasn't enough. And at least I learned from that.
Yeah. That's tough. I feel like I've always been an old man because I've always just been like so thankful that my parents even exist. Like, I've never had that rebellious phase. Never did I do that thing where it's like, oh, I hate you, mom and dad. I don't want to be here anymore.
So bad. I was such a brat.
There was one point in time where I was upset with my stepdad because I didn't like that my mom brought in a new stepdad, but it was never my mom. It was like, who this fucking guy? Like, he's not even nice to me. Like, I don't like this guy.
My parents were very critical, so I was just trying to.
That is a tough one.
I was like, I'm gonna do the opposite.
That might be good though, because that kind of gets you to not be critical, right? To like, look.
I guess.
I mean, I think it's better to not.
I
be
don't
critical.
like judge people. I think like I definitely judge people a lot. It's fun, but like not like not in a way to like put people down. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think it's like fair to be like, oh, you did bad.
Well, judgment is good. Judgment is super important, but I think it's like. It's about taste. It's about having taste. It's about like knowing what you like. It's not about like what's right or wrong. It's about like having standards for yourself.
Yeah, like it's normal to see something and go, that was weird, and like think that in your head versus
also like safety, right?
Yeah, versus
you have to judge your surroundings. Okay,
definitely. As a guy, you have to be. At least I was raised to be very traditional. Like if you're like with a woman, you have to protect her.
Right.
Like you have to die for her. Like, that was literally like what my dad would like teach me as a kid, which is like insane. But he was like, yeah, if you're ever on a date with a woman, a man pulls a gun on you guys, you go first. Like
you fall on the sword.
Yeah, it was like that's the plan. It's like okay.
It's so funny. You're 12. You're sitting you down.
Like, all right, got it. I'll do that for sure. Like
it's so funny.
Any woman, done deal.
I mean, I guess that's valorous. Yeah. It's a good thing to tell a child, I guess.
I know, but it's like ingrained in me. Like I literally am constantly on the lookout. Like anytime I like walk with my girlfriend Hannah, like we just like see a random guy like reach in his pocket, and I'm like,
I bet girls love that. I bet any girl would think that's a major plus.
I don't think so.
Every time he's around me, he's like,
every time like Hannah be like, what are you looking at? I'm like, nothing. Like because you can't let him know, freak him out. Like, yeah, I'm checking out for weapons.
It's like funny. It's kind of like a dog. That makes me think of like a dog, because that dog protects you and will die for you. You know, it's kind of like that, where it's like just drilled into the dog's mentality. Like, if you're gonna come at me and you look like a predator.
My dad had German Shepherd energy. Now I'm like a little baby German Shepherd.
You got to do it though. I see. The thing is, like, yeah. Maybe start bulking up, taking steroids. Maybe that's it.
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever. My dad used to play rugby and like was a big beefy dude. Like I don't think I'll ever reach where his peak was.
Yeah, it's sad how that works. Like I remember I had a friend who was super like buff, and he didn't even like work out. He didn't even do anything. He didn't. And I remember maybe he was lying, but I remember I'd ask him, like, you know, because he was full like body type. He looked like a Greek, like chiseled type of archetype. You guys get what I'm saying? He had muscles in his thighs. So, you're looking at this guy, and I'm like, how do you do it? And he says, oh, there's no secret. I'm just like this.
That's annoying.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, is that how it works?
Sucks. Yeah,
is it really
terrible.
just luck of the draw? We just get what we get? Because I can't really gain weight. I could probably get I have a runner's physique. I could probably run really far, especially if I train. But that's probably what I'm built for, is that. I'm not built for heavy lifting or nothing like that. I'm built for endurance. That's what I can do.
Yeah.
And I just have to accept that. But I wish I could maybe if I take steroids. Someone told me I need to be on a calorie surplus.
Yeah.
I need to overeat, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
But dude, then I'm just going to be tired. I'm just going to want to go to bed.
Sure.
I eat a lot of food. I get tired. See, I think my metabolism is extremely fast.
That's why you work out in the morning then. And you just eat all day.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Damn, you're right.
Yeah.
Because I don't even usually eat in the morning anyway. That's kind of how it works for me.
Perfect.
I don't even know why. It's just what happens.
Yeah, I don't really eat in the mornings either.
I I think I intermittent fast on accident. I literally think that's what it is.
Yeah, it was just more comfortable. I don't want to be heavy in the morning.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But I usually don't do it consciously. But it is nice and also it makes when you eat later. Oh, bro. If you first eat at 4, every time you do it, you're like, oh.
So good.
Yeah.
Versus if I eat a big meal in the morning, I take a nap during the day.
Exactly.
I'm tired. Yeah.
It makes me tired. My mom once said to me, because I said, that Rock eats 9 meals a day. She was like, wow, if he stopped working out, he'd be so fat.
Yeah.
I was like, you're right.
But now he's super skinny. And who asked for that?
You see Batista? How Batista looks now?
Yeah, he's looking weird too.
Well, I think he's vegan. I think that's what it was. And whatever you want to say about being vegan, it doesn't matter. Just look at old Batista. Look at Batista now. It's actually kind of shocking because he was big. He was big, and it was natural big, I think. And then you look at him now.
No way.
Yeah, right.
Dude, he's in the WWE. There's no chance.
Well, even a few years ago though. Because, you think he was still roiding up?
What are you kidding me? That's an addiction.
No
one quits steroids unless they make it public.
I fool myself. I think, no, it stopped in the 90s when they had the lawsuit with Hulk Hogan. That's where it all ended. They stopped roiding up way back then.
A new Hulk Hogan documentary came out. I was like, okay, we need to know he's more of a bad guy.
There's not even much you could say at this point, right?
Yeah.
He's basically done it himself.
He probably ate a kid or something. Who knows?
Well, that's what he would say. Hulk Hogan has so many stories. Hulk Hogan's such a liar. If you just did a documentary based on Hulk Hogan stories, it would be a good Hulk Hogan thing. You do a Hulk Hogan movie based on all the stories that Hulk Hogan has told, and you just present it as truth. Do it like Forrest Gump.
That'd be fun.
Where it's he really did all the things he said he did.
Yeah, but
there's because he has stories where they wanted me for this movie, brother, but I couldn't do it, and I can't do it. I can't. I'm doing Alex Jones instead of Hulk Hogan because I don't know what Hulk Hogan exactly sounds like.
He's got to stop being in media.
He's dead. He died.
I know, but we're still making shit about him.
Just let it go.
Rest.
Even WWE was rejecting him at the end. He came out for a Raw or something. Everybody was like, boo! It's Hulk Hogan's trying to look cool.
Yeah, I know. It's just sad.
It's over. Well, he's had a long-term crash out. Kramer did it all at once on stage. Hulk Hogan did it over the years. Yeah. It's so funny that he would put HH at the end of his tweets.
It's wild that Netflix put out the documentary about Vince McMahon and then bought Raw. Put it the week after. They're like, yeah, look at this sick pervert that used to run this place. Now we got it. It's what the fuck? Why is that the business move to tank the thing you just bought? It's been doing worse. It's so stupid. And now Logan Paul's in it.
Well, WWE, I want to like it so bad. And when they brought back The Rock and they did the whole Rock heel turn, I liked that. When they had CM Punk come back, I liked that. And everything CM Punk does is good. But other than that, it's I just don't know anymore because it's so influenced by... now they fucking put logos on the tables. They have Slim Jim on the table.
Yeah.
And it's it just logos everywhere. I get Logan Paul, Prime, on the table. It's can I not look at it? What's that?
It can never do what it did during Raw era.
Attitude era back then.
Real big... when it was really coming together.
I mean, it's just they could have. You could, but
No
they're not going to take
way.
risks. They're interested in going global, and the problem is that they're now bought out by TKO. It's owned by The Rock, Triple H, and then Ari. I'm going to say someone else's name. I was going to say Ari
yeah, but
Emanuel.
there's too much evidence. They used to like make jokes about like literally like raping the staff. It's like,
Well, they're trying to move away from. That's even what it is though.
Like,
Once
that's
you
what
lose
made
Vince,
them popular with like the weirdest fucking demographic in the world. And then like,
well, Vince used to say the N-word.
yeah, it used to be like the worst demographic, and then all their little brothers.
Yeah.
Like, that was all WWE fans.
There was the Edge Lita live sex celebration.
Yeah.
I mean, they've tried to move probably from 2010 moving forward. They
They
moved
would
away from the
literally
whole.
just rip girls' clothes off.
Well, that's what I said. They moved away from the whole diva thing, and they have like a women's division. They do a good job at highlighting the women's talent now because
Yeah,
they
way
go.
better.
I would even argue they go overboard on it because they try to do like halvesies where it was not like that before. And I would say there's still less women talent on the lineup, but they go full halvesies. Like if you watch the episode, it's just as much women as men. So they really are trying to make up for all that because you're right. It was.
But it's too late to backstep now. Like, you can't,
Do you think they
can't
should
go
double
back.
down? You think they double down?
I think they should just end it. Like,
Just
they should
cut like quits?
call it. Like,
It's an empire. See, this is also the problem: is WWE's too big. It's kind of like Facebook. It's kind of like McDonald's. Whatever comes around, they'll just buy it. They'll find a way to make it theirs. They'll
Yeah,
ruin
but-
it. They're so big, it's too big to fail, and they'll ruin anything else that's a startup. Even in the UK. So the UK was kind of having a wrestling boom in like the last year or two. And so then WWE puts NXT UK, which NXT is like their it's televised, but it used to be FCW, and it's their developmental that's in Florida, and it's only at this place in Florida. And FCW, and then it became NXT, and then it was ran by Triple H, and so that's why when Triple H bought, or it became the owner of WWE, and he was going to book all of it, everybody thought it was going to be good because NXT was good for a while, and it tricked everybody. And it was all this upcoming talent, and the whole idea with wrestling is you need to foster the upcoming talent and get this new. It's about the new people that are going to lead the scene forward. That's what it's always been, and so Triple H owns this NXT. Da 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 da. Now you have NXT UK. This is after the prime of NXT. Now NXT is just kind of the side thing and whatever. It's okay. It's ran by Shawn Michaels. It still has its own fan base, but it's not what it used to be. And they're going to do NXT UK. They're going to bring all this talent from this booming scene in the UK into one little thing. They're going to make it so, maybe they can capitalize on that scene and highlight that scene. And it all seems like it's going to be great. But then what happens? They just kind of book it shittily, and it ends after one season. And it makes you think, maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe they just kind of wanted to fuck up what was going on in the UK and just take their talent. Because the thing is, this is a thing in wrestling. If you work in...
Vince McMahon was the sickest.
Yeah, they want to fuck over everybody.
Yeah.
That's why, Vince McMahon's dad...
That's why he prostituted his own daughter, Triple H. Like, what the fuck? They got
On
married.
TV.
Like, it was insane.
Not only that, they got married. She was unconscious in the storyline when they married.
Yeah.
She wasn't even awake.
He the worst wedding ever for his daughter. He prophetized off of
Everything. And you could argue he's one of the greatest businessmen of all time, but like it's actually against the philosophy of what his dad wanted for the wrestling company. Like that was never the idea for WWE. It was never or World Wrestling Federation. It was
Vince McMahon is just a sick pervert.
Yeah.
Like to abuse power.
I got an idea.
He's just an insane person.
And again, talking about how crazy people are entertaining, some of the best television of all time.
Amazing stuff.
What Vince fostered and just what he curated, but also what Vince did on TV. Like every now and then you'll scroll and see a reaction GIF of Vince McMahon's face. Dude, he is as an actor. Like he could even because he's crazy. He could cry on command.
Yeah.
He was so good at selling the story.
Oh, yeah. He gave everything to it.
Unbelievable. Like, you could tell he had so much respect for the business. Even though he's crazy and even though he did all this shit, he has so much respect for the craft of wrestling.
That's truly an artist. Like, he's an insane person,
nuts.
but it's an artist.
And that's why John
artist.
Cena, you'll never, ever see John Cena say anything bad about Vince McMahon because that's, for one, it's the source of his career.
Yeah.
But also, it's just... it's so funny because John Cena is like so politically correct, everything, but every time Vince McMahon's brought up, he'll never. He's like, he walks the line so well. He will never do it. I guarantee he'll never do it because he loves Vince McMahon because he thinks he's a genius.
Yeah,
because in a way he is, but he also shat on a woman and was offering her to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Like, this is the stuff that came out in court. Because to me, that's the damning evidence. It's the shitting on the girl, and it's the Brock Lesnar text, which, by the way, Brock Lesnar finally came back and retired.
He's paying off 72 women for sexual
I don't know about that. 72 women?
Yeah, it's like there's so many charges against him.
I didn't know about that.
So many where he just paid off women.
You see when he showed up on TV with the evil mustache? The evil, it was like he had been disappeared for a while, and he came back, and he had black hair and a mustache, and he looked like Mario or something.
I remember that. That was such a weird era.
And then he looks normal again. It happened like once.
Yeah. He's such a weird guy.
He's so weird. Also, he works out every morning and is super ripped. And he always has been. That's the other thing about Vince McMahon. He's ridiculously ripped for an 80-year-old man.
He also like just sacrificed his son. Like just constantly just made him do death drops. And like
I think Shane likes that. I actually think Shane was into that because he came back on this.
He raised another psycho.
Oh yeah. Well, and then you got Stephanie too. Stephanie, the one who married unconsciously. She's another.
I mean, God.
You got to imagine that whole family's. CM Punk. That was kind of the pipe bomb. Was he?
Now I just want to rewatch that documentary again about Vince McMahon. Like, it's so good. He's so crazy.
I actually didn't watch it. I should because
really
I know all the basics, but I feel like it's gonna be like a takedown. Is it like a takedown documentary, or are they doing like an honest, like trying to show all the sides of it? Or obviously it's. When I say takedown, are they just trying to say, oh, this guy's a piece of shit, and that's the whole angle? Or is it like, are they trying to say he did all this, but also he was a piece of shit?
It's like 4 episodes, I think, or like 6. And the first like 3 to 4 are just like the WWE and like history of it.
And then it takes a
remarkable
twist.
Not like a remarkable twist. Like it's kind of interwoven the whole time, but I wouldn't say it's like an accusatory like takedown, but it's like, all right, debate this then.
Maybe I should watch it then because I would probably like it. Every one of those documentaries,
like,
I'm always feeling like this is probably an angle.
Documentary the whole time. Like answering questions on the side until like the last episode where he's like, oh, he won't come back for commentary anymore on these questions. Like, so it's really funny. Like, it's really well done, I think.
Oh, I should watch it. I didn't know they interviewed him for it too.
Yeah, they interviewed like all the WWE staff. Like, it's very good. Really well done. That and Trust Me, the False Prophet. Great documentary.
What's that?
That one's about the cult leader that took over for what was his name? It was like a famous like fundamentalist Mormon cult leader, Jerry something. Can't remember his name, but then someone took over for him. And this couple like moved into this fundamental Mormon society and were doing a documentary on them in general. But then he became like a cult leader and had 30 wives in his house or whatever, and started this weird thing where he like 5 people like gave him all their wives and children. Like it was insane. And but they're like literally interviewing him while he's doing this and like building evidence that like got him convicted. And like working with the FBI, but they're actually like filming the documentary in real time.
Yeah.
So it literally starts the rise and fall of a cult leader. It's amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
Incredibly well done. Because like you never see that aspect of him like slowly be like, yeah, I got more ideas. Like now that this shit's working, like, why don't you all strip in front of me? Like, like he's like the crazy thoughts like escalate. Like it's fun to like.
That must be really how it well goes. Done. That must be how it always goes. Other than Scientology,
yeah. No cult leader comes out like, I want 72 whores in front of me now. Like they go like, what are you doing with your daughter?
Yeah.
She's not doing much right now, you know? And then you collect 5 daughters and then you slowly escalate.
Yeah, there was a book I was reading, but I never finished it. It was about the whole Jonestown massacre and all that, and that's the same thing. Where at first it was like he was actually so a lot of it is based on segregation and civil rights, and like he would take advantage of these black churches, and that's kind of where a lot of it starts. He wanted to support black people, and he wanted to like lift them up, and that's what he was making it sound like. And he got all these people on board, and then he said, let's all go to Jonestown. And the whole thing, kind of even going to Jonestown, was kind of like a lot of them weren't really on board, but then he just showed up in the middle of the night with the bus and said, all right, we're going now. Like he just kind of strong-armed them all into doing it.
Well, that's the scariest thing about like Trump, Hitler, like all of these charismatic leaders. It's like it doesn't take a lot.
Well,
you
it's
just
all
have
charisma.
to like promise like sad people like there might be better opportunities
I would even,
if you follow me.
What I think is,
or like even like lost people. You know?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that with motivational speakers and like a Gary Vee type personality, most of what's going on there, it's just sounding like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that's really what people want. They just want somebody to sound like they know him.
Gary Vee to do is be like, yeah, let's kill Palestinians. And like half his people would be like, all right, let's do it. What are you talking about? Like if he just flipped that switch tomorrow, people would be like, yeah, okay. Because that's what those leaders do, is like that's why they're so scary. It's like the blind allegiance. Like some people want something to have blind faith in.
Well, if you have strong charisma, like if you really have strong charisma, that's why it's
I
like,
just think so many people in the world are lost and like don't have like an undying direction with their life.
Yeah,
like a lot of people don't have that passion that like leads them to whatever. You know, like some people for that, it's a family. Some people for that, it's comedy, maybe rap, you know, like whatever it is. Some people just don't have that. And when you offer that to people, some people want to jump on and like, well, you know, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
And like even like the Trust Me, the False Prophet documentary, the woman who was like the first like whistleblower in like the wives like community had offered 7 of her daughters and like was fully co-signing all of this. And at the end, it was just like, I thought he was a prophet. I was raised my whole life to trust in a prophet. He said he was a prophet. We had no reason to doubt him. I didn't think anything was wrong.
Yeah.
And then, like, I finally started to ask these questions, and I realized what I've done. But, like, some people just don't ask those questions during the process. And they're, like, it's not even, like, their fault. Like, I think when people, like, and this is a crazy idea, but like when people generalize like all Nazi Germany was terrible, it's like no, the people that just lived in Nazi Germany is like, yeah, my husband decided to be a Nazi, but like I love him and I can't raise this kid on my own.
Yeah,
those aren't the worst people in the world. It's just the people who led those people.
Right. Well, and most people, I mean, I even think like most people aren't leaders in general. Like that's the whole idea of a leader. It's
most
why
people
leaders
just
exist.
want a good life, and when promised a good life by someone, they'll give it a chance.
Yeah, and that's why I think like most social media and even the stuff you see on there, I mean, you know, discounting bots and all this, because I think bots again are leading these lost people. But it's like, I think most of that, I think if you talk to people in real life, like if you just have real connections with real people in the real world, what you'll find is most people don't have super strong opinions about any, like they might, they have strong opinions, but they don't like, they're not going to lay down and die for things the way you would think people would if you looked online. Because most people, it's like what you're describing, they just are trying to move through life. They are just trying to exist. And like, you know, the thing about Germany, you gotta remember, is Germany existed before 1940 and it existed after 1940. Yeah. Like those people didn't just turn evil and crazy out of nowhere and then turn back to normal. That's not how it worked.
They lost World War I. They were still like impoverished. They were doing horribly. People were starving and dying.
Yeah.
Like, it was not going well.
And then you
Germany.
have someone come along and promise them all these things.
Yeah,
they say, listen, I know exactly who's doing this to us, and I can tell you exactly what we can do to fight for ourselves. If you had somebody come along and say that, that's a really powerful thing if you are a vulnerable person at that time.
Yeah, if someone was like, they're handing out Dior suits. Okay, there's nice new neighborhoods opening up in Poland. You can move in for free.
They got a logo. It's cool.
It's doing well. Business is booming. Okay, we're making huge advances. Why wouldn't you jump into this market? Like, that's literally what they were like looking at. And then no one, like, they didn't have the internet to be like, oh, people are dying. Like, some of those people probably didn't even know. Like, the amount of people that were like statistically uneducated in Germany at that time, insane.
Yeah.
People probably couldn't even read the newspaper and figure out what was happening. And it's not like Germany was fighting a ton of battles on their own land.
Yeah, and I think
that's an excuse. And
I think it all becomes,
fuck Nazis.
It snowballs into hate. Like, that's how hate happens. Like, it starts with real things and real issues and real problems that could have been solved rationally, and then hate is introduced, and hate is irrational. Hate is just emotion. It's pure vitriol and emotion. You can't control that. It's like lighting a fire. Yeah. And so to me, that's where it all goes wrong. When it becomes, these people are the problem, we have no use in negotiating with these people, like, you can't make it that, because no matter what, that is going to be, like, again, you're talking about leaders and followers. If you're talking about you're a leader, you have to be smarter than that, because if you're going to approach it that way, you have to know that it's not, people don't look at it so nuanced like you do. The followers are going to just think, oh, so those guys are the bad guy. Yeah. And then everybody who's like that becomes the bad guy. And that's how people think. That's how most people think. They just think of one side as the bad guy, and they need a bad guy in their life. And if you really want to lead people, you have to think bigger than that. You have to think so much bigger than just good guys versus bad guys. And I think and these guys are the evil people. And even
growing up, when we like first learned about like Nazi Germany in school, the way people talked about it when I was growing up in the 2000s, if you talked, like, if someone said they were Nazi as a joke, you sat in the corner, like, you were in detention for a week.
Oh, really?
Like, it was bad. Like, it wasn't like, oh, like, yeah, I'm going to be a Nazi. Like, and people, like, the teacher was like, that's a funny joke, but Nazis are serious. It was like, get the fuck out of my class, you're disrespectful. Like,
the worst thing I think I ever had at my school was, like, somebody had a Confederate flag on their truck, and somebody got upset. I don't think I ever had a kid say he was a Nazi as a joke.
Dude, we had a kid, one time he brought in what we thought was a live grenade and said this is for Nazi Germany, and and pulled the pin in fucking, we were just in the locker room in gym class, like, we were all like changing in high school.
You're naked?
Naked like, we were all like, what the fuck, we're gonna die? Like, it was so weird. And then
he thought that was gonna kill.
No, and then a minute goes by and the teachers are now screaming at him like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, it's not live, it's not real. It's like, what the fuck is this prank? Like, that's not funny. Like, it was so weird.
He thought it was gonna be so funny.
Yeah, it was so, like, he got expelled. Like, it was crazy.
Oh my God,
but
dude.
Nowadays, we're like seeing
everybody
like,
ran out of the room when he did it, right?
Oh yeah, it was panic. Like, it was crazy. It was talked about for months. Like, I still bring it up to, like, anytime I see people like from my like high school, I'm like, you remember that when he brought a grenade to school? Like,
oh my God,
Julian, it was like crazy,
dude.
And now, like, with Trump and everything, you'll like see people like actively be like, yeah, I'm a Nazi, like.
Yes. Well, that's kind of what I'm talking about.
That's so interesting to like now see the other side. Like, because growing up, it was like Germany and Nazi Germany was a despicable place. And now it's like, oh, don't, Nazis aren't terrible. Like, that's my uncle. Like, he's misguided.
You also have the war.
It's weird.
And you also have all of this going on with, like, people don't like the way Israel's doing things. And that gets tied in with this whole other philosophy. Yeah. And that's part of the problem, too.
And now people are like blaming Israel. Like, obviously there's suspicions that Israel has been masterminding things, but now everyone's like, well, fucking Jews are doing it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, things are just going crazy.
They're saying Hitler was right all along. That's what they're saying.
Which is insane that you could just plant a seed, just wait 100 years, and people might pick up your banner again. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. You know what is, I mean, in tune to what we're saying, because now it's more and more popular. You can find like these AI translated Hitler speeches, and just like hearing those speeches in English, because they wouldn't even translate them on the History Channel. Yeah. I think it contextualizes everything in such a way. And I think like people, again, it gets so simplified by people. They're like, again, oh, he was right. Da, 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 da. It's not that. It's that history rhymes. Things happen and they rhyme over time. And it's like, this idea that would lead to chaos, that someone will come along and they will have the answer and they'll know exactly who it is and how to fix it. I just think saying violence is the answer is always wrong. That's how I feel. I just think, I think if you are saying that that's the solution, and I would also even argue people who say things like that violence is not the answer, people like Martin Luther King, look who kills those people.
Yeah.
The government. So violence is probably not the answer, but I just don't know. That's what's so scary about it to me, is it's like what I was saying earlier, how with the whole even thing with comedy and, there's things we can't say because it's the same exact kind of thing floating around. Like, there's things you can't do, there's things you can't say. So then people go all the way the other way. Oh, well, you know what? I am this, I am that. Like basically saying it to be controversial, like a Sam Hyde.
Yeah.
But then like a Sam Hyde becomes the representation of those ideas to people who do really think that, and so it becomes confusing, like a Nick Fuentes too. Okay, yeah. I think most of what he does is kind of sarcastic, but he believes what he's saying, and then there's people who 100% believe everything that he does, and so it becomes so confusing. Like, what is real and what is countercultural here, and what is gonna really lead to, because I think ideas float around in culture and they fester and we don't realize it when it's happening. But they're like, it's getting worse. It's like a wine, and it's, it's gonna you're gonna open it, and it's gonna be really strong if you let it sit for a little while. And
I
that's
think
kind of what we're doing.
Counterculture is like the worst thing that ever happened to us.
Because we try too hard.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
I just think, like, make good things. Stop trying to be so edgy. Stop trying to be so anti this. Just make good things, and people will like it.
You can be an outcast without having to be against culture.
Exactly.
It's always just a bad take.
Yeah,
that people have.
Maybe it was cool in the 90s when it was actually countercultural, when it was like punk and skating and.
I think when culture had way more of an influence, I guess. But now
there's no monoculture anymore.
Yeah, there's no monoculture. Like, what are you fighting against?
It's nothing. I feel like even being countercultural has become a niche of its own. Yeah. Rather than being countercultural, it's kind of just a niche. It's like its own
just
thing.
A genre you go into now. Yeah. Like, I'm against the man. It's like, all right, which one? Like,
because there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, what are you talking about, dude? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And again, like, I really think, like, I don't even think about that stuff when I make things. So I kind of hate when people are telling me what to think with a thing. Like, I just don't like that. Like, even if you're making something political, you can make political jokes and be funny. Just don't tell me what you think about it as you do it. Like, sure. I think that's the best way to do it. Say what's funny about it. I think that's what the best comedians did. Like Norm Macdonald, for example. He said all kinds of political things, but he never really said how he felt either way. He just would point out what's funny about a situation. And in my mind, that's like the perfect way to walk the line. Is just, I mean, even you mentioned like the Dave Chappelle Kramer thing. Like, he probably said just the right amount to where, like, he's kind of saying, like, oh yeah, Dave, he shouldn't have said that, but also as a comedian, I'm just watching as a comedian, like, damn, bro, this sucks. Like, he's just saying a take that is not at all political or controversial because that's how he thinks. Yeah. And I think that's the most entertaining stuff to me. Like, I just hate it so much when I feel like, oh, they're telling me what they think. Because I think, like, the best art doesn't do, even like David Lynch, you talk about filmmaking. Like, David Lynch is a master. Him and Andrei Tarkovsky are my two favorite filmmakers. Because their films are so good at never really telling you even what they're trying to tell you. Like, right. You get to kind of figure it out yourself. And I think you can do that. It's the beautiful miracle of art. But then, I'm trying to think of a good example. I mean, even like Kaufman. Kaufman's like probably the origins of meta, the origins of like not telling the audience what to think and forcing them to think. But then everybody else wants to be Kaufman and nobody could ever be Kaufman again. And that's the problem. Yeah. And like, if you go to open mics when you're a comedian, you've seen plenty of Kaufmans. Yeah. Yeah. I remember one time a guy told me, I won't say who it was, but his bit was that he ate a sandwich on stage and then he tried to give a sandwich to somebody else. And that was the bit. And one time he brought a mic or a speaker, his own speaker and his own mic, and he stood in the back of the room for his set, and that was the bit. And he told me, like, comedians would just get mad at him, and it was not working.
I wonder why. What is the bit there? Like,
that's what I'm saying. People think they're Kaufman. That's what happens.
I know. People.
They're like, I'm countercultural. I'm different.
Yeah, I know. And it's funny, like so many alt comedians are so bad because it's like you're not even.
You got to be smart. You have to be so good. It's that whole rule of you have to know the rules to break them.
Yeah, you have to be normal to be alt.
Yes.
First, like you have to understand why you're being different. You can't just be different. Then you're just weird. Like,
Exactly. That's what happens.
Yeah, like it's just weird. Like. Yeah, I don't know.
I like that stuff when it works. That's like why it's tough, because when it's kind of like improv. When it's great, it's awesome. But when it's bad, it's unbearable.
That's why
so it's hard to explain to people.
I hate like open mic comics who have stage names. It's like no one knows you.
Or they have like open mic bits that people are supposed to know. Like they have stuff
I just
that you're
think, like if your name's like Carl, like why am I calling you Terrifying Terrell? You know, like it's like no one knows you in the first place. Just be that character.
Yeah.
Convince people of that. If anyone asks you what your name is, tell them that. But like, why do I have to call you? Like, anytime anyone brings me up on stage, they go Teddy Hill, and then I know for a fact no one in the crowd has remembered my name until I'm funny. And then after, when I'm leaving, maybe they'll remember my name.
Unless you do that smart comedian thing where you find a way to work your name into a joke.
Sure.
Because that really does work. I noticed with my
does.
stupid audience brain, sometimes I'll be thinking, oh, this guy's funny. What the fuck is his name again? And then they'll say it, and I'll be like, oh, yes.
Yeah, but like no one remembers the first time anyways. And
No.
also like no one's
Never.
gonna remember your name until you're famous anyway. So it's like it's not too late to change it once you start making it a little.
Yeah.
So like why am I calling you Terrifying Terrell when there are 3 people here who all know you as Carl? Like stop.
I've learned to give up. Like people will like say ruse or my real government name, and I've learned to just give up. Like if someone asks me my government name, I will tell them there's no use. The problem is, like sometimes, because obviously it looks better on camera if you say ruse, but sometimes people just refuse to do it, and they don't even know they're refusing to do it. They just are so used to calling people by their normal name.
Yeah.
Like there was somebody, it's Tim the Mime. I think it was episode like 215 or something. And maybe it's because he's a mime. He's not used to talking. Maybe that's what it is. But he like asked me my name right off the bat. And I said, oh, my name's Wyatt, And he said, well, and I don't think he asked anything at that point. But then he's like says Wyatt a bunch of times. I don't really give a fuck, like I said. But then like an hour and a half into the podcast, he says like, oh, do you prefer if I call you Wyatt or Ruse? I'm like, well, if you ask me, I would say Ruse, but I don't care. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. Like, so he makes a thing out of it. And then he just calls me Wyatt again like 10 times.
Sure.
It's like,
that's Tim the Mime.
Why did you even ask? That's what I was thinking. Like, why did you even mention it? Because you weren't going to do it.
I think I've met that dude like 10 times. Every time he goes, what's your name? It's like, shut up.
So maybe this is a thing for him. He's bad with names.
He's one of those people that's just weird.
He's a mime, dude. I think like it's the art thing. I think if you're an artist, especially like I've learned even, because especially talking to comedians, talking to musicians, I radically prefer talking to comedians. Sure. I think more like a comedian. And I think that musicians, even like filmmakers, are easier than musicians. Like actors, these people are easier because musicians think, maybe it's because they think in music, but I also think like they're worried more about their image, and they're worried about more like what they come off like, and they're just thinking all this extra shit that I don't think ever. And I just like, it's harder to maneuver that. Whereas like a comedian's just having fun.
Like real artists are like way more worried on like being impactful.
Yes.
And they're
and they think everything they say has to matter.
Yeah. Whereas like comedians, no, it's like, I just want to be liked for 5 minutes. That'd be cool. Like,
that's me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think I'm more in that camp.
Yeah. It's like way easier to talk to comics, except for comics that are tough to talk to.
Comics have their own problems.
Yeah, it's way different.
Comics will riff off on you. Comics will try to riff off.
Or just completely standoffish and too anxious to even speak to you. Like, that's the only way it goes. It's like super extroverted and probably putting up a front, or super introverted and like are literally shaking in their boots.
And either way, probably a substance abuse issue.
Yeah, that's the in-between. Like,
that's the Venn diagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, because that is what it's like. The people who are in between, it's almost like, what are you doing here? You're so well adjusted.
Yeah.
Like, why are you
I remember
here?
when I like first started, I was like, why doesn't anyone like me? Like, why won't anyone talk to me? And then I get to like know all these people that I thought like hated me better, and I'm like, oh, they just like were also thinking, why does this person hate me? Like, like we're having the exact same thoughts and no one's talking. Like, it's interesting.
And it's kind of like it's kind of a revelation once you realize.
Yeah.
It's especially like going to open mics and you just realize, oh, these people are all just as antisocial as I am. Like that's
it's like I just have to take that first step and it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Made it a lot easier.
And that's kind of a rule for life, but especially with like comedians. Oh my God.
It was so difficult because I was like, I want you guys to respect me, so I don't want to like beg for your attention, you know? Like I don't want to like, because I didn't want to be like guy who's coming to like every show and it's like, hey man, how you doing? Like
how I look at it is I just like to win over the room. I like to think
I want them
it's
to like
about me
naturally
going
want to
on
like
stage.
come to hang out with me.
Yeah, like I don't even, this is my rule and I try to follow it, and maybe I shouldn't do this, but I try to not even approach people at like functions and things like this. I try to just wait for people to approach me. Unless it's like somebody that's like my friend, because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy.
I learned now that's the problem with comics is everyone's doing that.
Oh, really?
Everyone's doing that, or just talking to people they already know.
So I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, you should just talk to people.
Say that. Because I'm thinking like it's the same thing with open mics. I don't want to be like, oh hi, oh hi, oh hi. I want to show up, fucking be awesome, because I know I'm awesome. This is the thing. A lot of people like to think, but no. When I go on stage, I'm awesome, and then I get off stage and people go. Oh, that's how it goes for me. And so when I do that, I want that to have the impact it's supposed to have. And I want that to be what I am. And so I actually don't like when I go to shows and I'm not like performing, because then it's like, oh, well, I don't even know how to say hi to people right now. Because I don't want to, if it's people I don't know. If it's like my friends, okay, I'll say hi to you. But if it's like, I am not the guy to be like networking and like, you might seem that way because I know people, but that's just because I just know how to meet people naturally. I hate this like, oh, hi, how are you? My name is this. Oh, work together. Da, da, da. I would rather you just figure out that I exist or it happens naturally. This is how I expect to meet my wife, too. This is kind of a problem of mine. I'm just thinking my wife's just going to fucking magically appear in front of me. And I'll be like, yeah, that's exactly how it was supposed to happen. Maybe I'm right. But, yeah, I just feel, and maybe you're right, though. Maybe you're right. And this is how everybody's thinking. And I'm not alone in this. And it's actually the opposite. And more people just need to approach each other, or more people just need to, because I've also been told the opposite. You know, like you could have that same exact impact on somebody else just by approaching them and saying hi. Like, oh, they remembered me in the same way that you think when someone comes up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing as like, oh, you have a nice shirt. Like, I like the shirt you're wearing today. Like that type of thing sticks out to people because you don't say that every day. You don't hear that every day. I'm just bad at it. Because I'm just as antisocial as all these other weirdos.
I know.
That's the problem. I'm just a dork. I'm just like, I don't want to be weird.
Yeah,
I want them to like
just
me.
Like me. Yeah,
I want them to just like me, though.
I know.
For who I am. I don't want them to like me for the fake me that's just coming up to them. I want them to like me for the real me. That's literally it. I know. Because I know. Crazy. The thing is, though, folks, I'm telling you, when I perform, it's different. Like, especially like with the I love performing at comedy open mics because it's such a ridiculous dynamic. That's why I think it works so well. No one could ever see it coming. And when it happens, no one even knows what to do. And the last 2 times I was nominated for an award, and folks, you ever want me to win an award, this will happen when I win the award, okay? I always have a rap written. It's always the idea. It's if I ever approach that stage, you already know the mic drop moment is about to happen. You already know. And it's just, like, I feel like that to me is such a powerful thing. And it's almost diminished if I'm not like sitting in the back just brooding the whole time before it happens. Because it's like, they say, oh shit, Ruse is over there. I have this whole thing in my mind. It's like, oh, I'm like a ticking time bomb. It's like Batman shows up and you're waiting for Batman to fucking whoop ass. Yeah. But maybe that's just me.
We all got our own things.
I feel like that's why I can't be a comedian too, because I'll have this same mentality, but I won't be funny yet. So it'll be bad.
Yeah.
I'll bomb and I'll be like, no, bro, that was the shit. Everybody will be like, yeah.
Hey, confidence is
Try to be
good.
nice to me. I think that's what happens when like people who aren't comedians who are already good at something try to become a comedian. They have false confidence.
Yeah.
Almost always. Because they just are used to being good at something.
Yeah, false confidence for like a first open mic is always tough.
Oh, I think for a first open mic it's forgivable, but I think after that you gotta when you're, oh hey guys, it's my 4th open mic.
I went in so shy to mine, so maybe I'm just jealous. But whenever someone goes to like, it's my first open mic, get ready for this. You know, I'm like, I'd rather kill myself than be here. Like, this is so brutal.
You're right. You never want to hear that.
Yeah.
That actually is bad. That is so bad when somebody thinks that they're going to be good.
Yeah, when they bring that air to it, it's like, have a little humility. Like, have an idea that this could go bad in your head. Like,
I had my friend who, he's my coworker. I brought him to Trigger Warning. And again, you know, Ruse fucking kills the room. All right, my Trigger Warning debut, amazing. They love me. And then afterwards, he's going to go up. He wanted to go last. This was, I don't want to go yet. I want to go last. I'm like, all right, man, whatever you say. And I thought, because the thing about my friend is he's one of those people, like that crazy thing we're talking about. He just says things that are so off the wall. I'm like, dude, like, you're something. He should be on reality TV. That's what I always tell him. Sure. He's like a reality TV character. That's what he's made for. So I was thinking maybe this could work. You know, maybe just bring him to an open mic. And he had this idea in his mind, like, because he saw the podcast. He's like, oh, you know, maybe I could go on your podcast. And I told him I only have comedians on the podcast. I don't even think I ever really said that. I think it's just he thought I said that. So he built up this idea. He has to do 3 open mics before he can come on my podcast. Okay. So he's going to do his first open mic at Trigger Warning. And he wants to go last. He gets too drunk, and he goes up there, and he had his whole set written out on his phone, of course. And I told him, I kept telling him, nobody's going to really give a fuck if you read it off your phone. And he's like, oh, they're not reading it off their phone. I'm like, dude, they don't care. I'm telling you, like, they might care, but they really don't. And so I go up, and after I go up, he's like, oh, you did so good. I have to change everything. I'm like, Steve, no. Do what you already had. Do what you showed me earlier, because I know it could go really bad if he changes it last minute.
Yeah, never change last minute. Also, don't go last.
I don't understand why he wanted.
You don't want to go last. You want to go in the middle where people forget about you after.
He got him when they were the drunkest.
Yeah,
so
interesting. Bold strategy.
Especially a trigger warning. Oh man. So he bombed in a special way, where like he goes up there, and I think where it really goes wrong is when he said that he had servants and that he doesn't think there's anything wrong with having servants, and that he grew up nice and he had servants growing up, and everybody started to kind of turn on him with that. And you know, it's particularly good that he didn't go the slave route, because he could have. He didn't. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but he didn't. He managed to not go that way. And he said something about how I told him not to bring this up, but he mentioned how he had his mom vote for Trump because of the Venezuelans, and how he doesn't like the Venezuelans, and he wants to get them out. And I told Steve, don't mention that. They will turn on you.
Sure, yeah.
There's no way that'll go over. And he was already doing bad. Also a part that was really, and it's just bad from then on, but normally they give people 4 minutes. They gave him about 6 or 7. He went last, but I think he bombed particularly well. I would put it that way. They liked how he was bombing.
Sure.
And also he said at one point, what did he say? He said he grew up, you know, he was a famous kid. He grew up well. He was famous when he was little. And someone said, I think it was James Fisher Jr., he said, Gerber baby. Someone said Gerber baby, and it was so funny. That was probably the funniest part of the whole thing, wasn't someone said Gerber baby.
That's good.
The heckle.
I do get what you're saying. Like,
well, afterwards, there was a false confidence, though. That's why I brought it up. Because afterwards, he was trying to say, I think it went well. I'm like, Steve, no.
That's terrible.
I was saying, you have to understand, if you're going to ever do this again, that did not go well.
Because that's the biggest thing for like comedy, is if you can't read a room and you can't like I think being able to be like, yeah, I bombed, and bombing for 8 weeks and then recognizing when you actually had a good set is a way bigger skill than like pumping yourself up and be like, that was good. That was gonna it's gonna go well next time. Like that to me is the worst. Like the biggest kill yourself, not like kill you, but like is killing.
Well, it'll kill your own career.
Yeah, it'll kill your career. To do is to be like, I'm doing great. Like, because even if it comes later, it's even worse.
Yeah, exactly. Because you didn't even have the prop. Like, I think it's all about reading.
Like, if you're on the cusp of success and then you're like, I'm doing great every time, you're fucked. You're gonna start failing again. Like,
well, and the best comics, especially like with comedy. You hear about famous comedians, people do you think are so funny, talking about, oh yeah, I bombed yesterday, I bombed last week, I bombed here, I bombed there. Like, that's normal, no matter what stage you're at. Like, you have to be able to do that.
My roommate, great comic, he just got passed at the Comedy Cellar, right? And now he's working the Comedy Cellar. But like, if you had asked him going up to that when he was auditioning in the Comedy Cellar, when I would be like, oh, like, he's had an audition, like another one in New York, how'd it go? He's like, probably bad, probably won't get it. Like, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna have a Netflix special soon? He's like, no, I don't deserve it. Like, he's not like confident in himself. Like, and I think that is, it's not good. You should like respect what you do and like be able to have a good set and be like, I had a good set, I had a good time. But you shouldn't walk around day to day like there's no way this could fail.
You ever hear happiness is reality without expectations?
Yeah.
Because I think it's like that, where it's like you're not even really happy if you're constantly thinking everything is going perfect. I feel like, you can't appreciate when things really are good. Like when that great thing happens, you just fooled yourself this whole time. You don't even know what the great thing is.
Yeah.
And also you can't expect things because it makes those nice things great. It makes it good when it happens. Like, it really makes it good. I mean,
I like the quote, content is the death of growth.
Ooh, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, that's good because that's why you don't smoke weed, kids. Because if there's anything I say is bad about weed, it's that it will make you content. I mean, Afro Man's Because I Got High is a religious experience for me, that song. Yeah. I'm like, that is so true. I can't tell you the amount of times I've been like, today, like, I'm going to smoke weed and then I will do this. And I know all those other times I said I was going to do it, but then I got distracted when I smoked the weed. But this time it'll be different.
Right.
And it fucking happens every time. Especially if you're doing something like laundry, something like, something productive. Something that's not, like, if it's artsy, I can, oh, fuck yeah, I'll do that. But if it's, like, something where it's, I don't know, like cooking or cleaning, my brain just goes, nah, I smoked weed. Okay. I'm good. So, but content is the death of, and just in all facets, right? Like, I tend to find, too, that it's the fact that I'm never content. That's what makes me want to always do more. It's like a double-edged sword. It's the reason that being an artist is hard, because you'll never be satisfied. If you're really creative, if you're like radically creative, you just can't be. It's impossible, because it's always like, oh yeah, that was good, but like, what does that, like, what comes after that? It's always what comes after that.
Yeah.
For me, every single time. I don't even think of the moment right now as like the moment right now. Like, I think of all of it as like something leading towards something bigger, always, because I know that's kind of how it all works. And like, it's all kind of like you're building a pyramid, and by the time you're done, you didn't even realize it was block by block by block by block by block by block,
Yeah.
And it's just, like, even those moments don't even really matter so much. It's the whole thing overall.
Yeah. I think you got to enjoy the journey of life.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just rushing towards a goal the whole time. It's not.
Yes,
very
it's both.
fun.
And it's the double-edged sword. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you enjoy that moment and do that while also having this bigger vision and wanting more? How do you find a way to balance the two? Because you could ruin your own life by thinking that way and never being satisfied. Never slowing down and stopping and smelling the roses or whatever it is. Like, for me, it's movies. I think movies are great because it's like it's like a release for me almost. It gets me back in like that zone I like to be in, whatever that is. And I feel like it's, like it's how do I put it? I would even say I watch movies more than I listen to music. It's like that.
I watch a lot of movies and TV.
A lot of movies. You watch a lot of movies?
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie you've seen this year?
I really liked the pizza movie. I thought it brought back
The
buddy
posters of that looked
comedies.
ridiculous to me.
It's so funny and it's so stupid, and it's like the new age Gen Z buddy comedy.
That's what it is.
And I think that's a lost art that people don't make anymore. Is like buddy
And
comedies.
it's Gatton Matazzaro. I don't know the other guy. He's
think
he's from
he's-
that show. It's the show from about the 90s, the 80s. It starts with the G. It's a family. You don't know what I'm talking about? It's on. It's one of these network sitcom, or not. Maybe not sitcom. But
I thought he was new. I didn't
recurring
know he had
shows.
done anything.
Oh
else.
yeah, he's on some show because he was on Sam Morril and Mark Norman's podcast, and that's how I figured out he was from this other show. It's a popular show. Brian Callen was on it too. He was the coach in that show. I know he appeared on it, but I can't remember what the show's called. It's on a popular network. It's a very popular show. It was on for like years and years, and it's about like growing up in the 90s, I want to say, or growing up in the 80s maybe. It's 80s, yeah. So, but they were both in the movie. It was good. You enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was super fun, and it was just like not to give any spoilers of the movie, but there was a scene where they cut out of the movie into the writer's room for the movie, and it like made sense, and it was so funny,
Yeah.
and like it was like, yeah, just that like but like super bad level of like comedy, you know, kind of like movie where it's like I could rewatch this a bunch and still like laugh.
I heard someone else say it was good too. Like I've heard a lot of people like it.
I think it's the first like really good like Gen Z buddy comedy.
We need more good comedy movies.
Yeah, because like that's the thing that we're losing with Warner Brothers and stuff, and everyone like being
Streaming.
bought by Netflix and
Yeah.
stuff. Is like people don't like the only reason you made a buddy comedy was for the DVD sales.
Yeah.
Afterwards, and like everyone owned Superbad at one point, you know, like everyone owned a copy of it. That's where you got all the money for it, and like there's no industry to support that, so like no one's putting any money into these buddy comedies with like all-star casts.
No, not at all.
Right? Like yeah, people just aren't doing it anymore.
And it's sad
I know.
because they were in a league of their own. I mean,
Yeah, and it's there's nothing to incentivize it.
I think the last ones were like 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Yeah, because no one
Like the
makes
last big ones.
no one makes shit off of like streaming.
No.
Like realistically, it's not that profitable for like the views on one specific movie.
Well, and it's,
Overall, it is, and like the paying for ads and all that stuff.
No.
There's so many layers to it that like makes Netflix profitable. But like any one movie of theirs doing well doesn't mean shit to them.
Nope. Yeah, it doesn't even really matter.
And they still get like 10 billion a day, so they don't care. Like,
Yeah, and for me, I just feel like it's frustrating because of the commodification of the industry and how it's always been this way, but it's just gotten so pervasive. It's ridiculous. Like at this point, I mean, just all you have to do to prove it to yourself is look at a calendar 20 years ago, like what happened in 2006, what movies came out, and then in 2026, what movies came out, or any given year, 2020 moving forward, and it's just crazy. Like it's radically different.
100%.
So like just the amount of blockbuster movies, the amount of original IPs, the amount of creative things coming out, because nowadays you'll get things coming out, but it's not as big of a budget. A lot of it gets turned into TV shows rather than films because of the way that they want to milk it for watch hours, pretty much.
Which I can respect. I like a good make a movie a TV show.
If you do
instead.
it right.
Yeah, if you do it well, like put it on HBO.
Yeah,
Or
but most
like-
of them they took a movie plot and they just stretched it out and then added a bunch of filler. And like that's most of what the MCU TV shows were. I mean, that's literally.
I mean, I don't watch any of those.
Me neither. But I don't watch them because I already know what the format is, and I just don't like to move away from film. Like it was supposed to be a cinematic experience for us all to enjoy, and streaming took over, and they went, "Oh, you know what's more profitable? If we take all these ideas we had for movies and we make them shows." And all this stuff where it's like you're missing the whole point of what's fun about movies. And you know, this is funny because in the 90s, that was a conversation and they had no idea. Like, they were like, oh, you know, they're only making commercial blockbuster movies now. They used to make art. And that was the 90s. Now we look back at the 90s and we think that was the art.
Yeah.
We don't have anything anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy because there's so many classic movies that were still being made. Even in the 2000s, we still were saying these things. All these remakes, all this. Like, we had no idea what was coming because it's nothing like it used to be. And I don't even know how you change it. I think the only way to change it is you have to get like independent funders for all these independent filmmakers, because it's just the auteur directors that are going to be able to lead the charge, and that's it. And you have, in horror in particular, at least horror's got a good phase going on. It was like, especially with auteur directing and original IPs. Like, that's the one place where I have faith. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my God. Like, because they're leading, horror itself as a genre is kind of leading the charge of independent filmmaking and bringing that to a commercial structure.
Horror topics are just like way more, like trending way more.
Exactly.
You know, people want to talk about that way more because the world is scary.
Yeah.
You know, like, than
so
comedic.
My favorite movie I've seen this year, actually, I don't know if it's my favorite I've seen this year. I don't know. But my favorite one I've seen recently is Scream. Dude, that movie's fucking awesome. The original. And I saw Wes Craven talk about it in an interview, and he's talking about how the way that he thinks about horror is that it's almost like a primal thing, and the horror that he's making in Scream is fundamentally different to the horror he was making in Nightmare on Elm Street because of the way that people think. Like, they're I forget how he said it. It's like just the way, like, the fear is, he was talking about almost like the fear is more pervasive like than it was in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I would wonder how you would do a proper horror like that now. Because I think that if you want to make something truly scary, like something that like goes down in history as like the scariest movie, just like these horror cult classics, I think you'd have to do something that touches on whatever freaks us out about modern culture now. Like, truly what scares us, not like what's on the base
I think
level.
Sinners and Get Out are two that
I don't know if I would say that Sinners is like a scary movie. Get Out's a great example. Get Out might be it. Get Out might be like the and that was about 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
But that would be the good one for the 2010s. That really does it. Yeah.
Weapons?
Maybe, but I don't think that it's like culturally, I don't think people talk about it as if it's like, oh, this is going to live on forever. Weapons was really good. I think Zach Cregger's heading that way. I think he has the capability of making
he'll probably
that.
make another better one.
I mean, he's doing Resident Evil next, and then he's doing that Gladys Origin movie, so who knows? Which even the Origin movie, I actually think that's good, because they're following a previous film, and it's not totally original, but that's actually what you have to do now to make an original horror character. And I didn't realize this until someone told me it. It's like, in horror, because of what we're talking about, you can't just get funding for your horror villain movie.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to say yes to that. But he somehow did it because he made Weapons, and that introduces this character. So now they're willing to fund it because that's this popular character that they can put all this money into. But that's like an impossible thing to do nowadays, to create a new horror villain. Like, what's the last big one you can think of other than Terrifier, which is the same thing? They built it from the ground up, and then somehow they were able to get more and more money to actually make it a character.
Yeah, it literally started as like YouTube content.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, crazy.
It's crazy how backwards it is now, because you just can't rely on these studios if you want to do that. If you want to make a movie and you want to do that. I mean, even the way the industry's always been, it's not even really about, so many scripts just go to the wayside, and so much of it is not like passion projects like you'd like to think it is. That's the rare stuff.
Yeah, but like that's always been true.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. And like, I just feel like it's, again, just so pervasive now. And I think audiences are smarter than people give them credit for, but you can train audiences to be stupid. Like, I think that's how it works. Sure. So what I mean by that is, I think movies are not, they're not like streaming and all this. It's not trying as hard to entertain people as it used to. Like, look at fucking Stranger Things. Look at the last season of Stranger Things. And then look at the first season of Stranger Things. And look at the way it's written in particular with the whole streaming mandate, and that they're literally disrespecting the audience. They're expecting you to not pay attention, and they explain everything all the time because they don't think you're paying attention. And that's literally, like, it's not like that's a conspiracy. I mean, you watch it, you can tell. And so to me, it's that stuff too. It's like, it's not that the audience is stupid. It's you're making them, like, people act stupid when you treat them like they're stupid. Like you just don't treat people like they're stupid.
I think people forget that like TV is geared towards kids. And
Is it all of it?
I think all of it is geared towards
Eventually,
kids.
you do 10 seasons.
I think any show other than like a show that's like trying to have self-respect.
Well, I think like Always Sunny is the only show that's managed to stick around.
Yeah, but even then, that was geared towards kids.
Really?
It's geared towards like
teens.
Yeah. But that's kids.
Yeah, you could
like
say that.
Who's gearing that towards 30-year-olds? You think 30-year-olds were picking up It's Always Sunny in first season? No. Like that's who keeps a franchise going is like kids who grow up and love it. You know?
That's
like,
true.
That's why SpongeBob's still going. That's why Pokemon's still going 9 seasons in or whatever. Like,
I'm still into Kingdom Hearts, and I often think like how many people that are into Kingdom Hearts are
entertainment is
young.
geared towards kids. Like that's why like it's annoying, and I think their adult shows are ones that like cut out like the flashback and like re-explaining stuff.
Yeah.
But like that's all they're doing is like trying to like make it so like kids can digest this.
Yeah.
And I think that's so annoying. But
Because
it is part of it.
And
Like,
even
it'll
that,
always
I
be
think
part
kids
of it.
are smart. I think if you treat kids like they're smart, they are way smarter than you realize. Like you can show a kid a smart, intelligent adult film, and if it's like a kid that's geared towards that type of thing, they'll understand it.
But even then, like think about all the shows you watched as a kid. If you rewatch it now, you'd be like, "Oh, this is kind of playing down a little bit."
Yeah.
You know, like you'd rewatch it and be like, "Oh, this is something you explained last episode. I didn't need to hear this again." Like, you'd rewatch anything you watched as a kid. You'd be like, "Oh, I just wasn't paying attention that much." Like, I was playing Game Boy while I was watching this every time. So
there is that. There is definitely that. I've learned that my brain's weird with movies too. Like there's so many movies I've seen and it's like my memory gets wiped. I don't even know. Like I can remember music pretty good. Yeah. But movies will just I'll watch a movie again. I'll be like, dude, I don't remember half of it. And it's not like I wasn't paying attention. Like, I was watching it. Yeah. But I'll forget it.
Yeah.
And I don't do that with anything else. It's like movies. I can't explain it. And I wonder if anybody else has this. Because I'll see people quote movies and they'll like fucking verbatim. Dude. No, like I can't do that. I couldn't tell you scene by scene by scene. Like no, I kind of remember the idea of the movie, and I remember what I liked about it, and I remember the scenes I liked the most. But I do not remember like and most of the time I watch it 5 or 10 years later. It's like a brand new experience. It's kind of a gift.
That's nice.
It's kind of magic.
I don't have that. I don't like have like I can quote everything. I butcher quotes on everything. I can never quote anything well, but I have where like. I can't watch a movie I've seen without like in my head I'm playing like one scene ahead the whole time.
I'm glad I have my problem because I would hate that.
I like it because
you like it.
Yeah, it's like I'm just like oh yeah this is coming up like like the whole time I'm like getting excited for scenes.
Brains lighting up. Yeah, neurons firing.
The whole time I'm like watching the movie twice in my head. Like, it's nice. It's fun.
That actually might be good. I remember I saw a video once that said it was a YouTube essay. And he was trying to say that spoilers were good. He was trying to say that spoilers are a good thing because if a story is good and you know a spoiler, you're rewarded for knowing the spoiler. And I'm kind of 50-50 on that.
Yeah, I hate spoilers.
Because I hate spoilers.
Rewatching something and spoilers are totally different.
Exactly.
You fucking up my experience is not the same as me remembering a good experience.
Yes.
You know? Like,
exactly.
I had an ex-girlfriend who would, like, anytime we watched any show, she would just go to the end. Like, and she would just like check the end of the show on her phone, and I hated that, and it ruined shows. I was like, I don't want to show you anything.
That is nuts. That is nuts.
Yeah, she would like go to like the last chapter of a book and read that first. It was very annoying.
So I remember I did that when I was a kid. I actually did like go to the end of a book and read the end of the book, and I don't know why I did that. But going to the end of a movie or a show, that's almost criminal. In my mind.
You should just go on like Wikipedia and like check the ending.
Dude. I did that at school with Spark Notes. With books I didn't want to read.
2 hours. Just watch it. You'll find out the ending. I promise you. It'll finish. Like
I'm trying to understand it because when I think about that, I think like, aren't you just ruining the whole thing from the start?
I never wrap my head around it, so I have no answers for you. I wish I did, but it truly baffles me to this day.
I can understand. I think I could steel man her argument. I think I understand what she thinks she's doing. I think that she thinks it's like, oh no, but I know where it's going. So it's fun because I know where this is going to go, and I'm just thinking, how are we going to get there?
It's people that like can't give up control.
Because I remember when I think that's actually why I did it when I was a kid. When I would look at the end of the book, I think I would look at the end of the book because I would think, oh, I wonder why it said that. And that would be fun to think about.
Yeah.
It's upsetting to me. I've never heard of that. Looking at the end of the movie, the end of the show first. Because there's so many good... I've done that on accident. Like, did you watch the show Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
Okay. So, folks, if you haven't seen Better Call Saul, I'm going to give a big spoiler. So you might want to skip ahead like 3 minutes, okay? So I was watching it online on a streaming service. And it was the episode where Howard dies. Very end of the episode, Howard dies. And Lalo kills him. And fucking one of the best episodes of the whole show.
Great.
Really good episode. So I'm on the website. I click it to pause. Ad pops up. Oh, fuck. Go back. Oh, fuck. Okay, gotta close it. Gotta reopen it. Reopen it. Click the video. I accidentally click to the end. I just see him dead. I just see him dead on the ground. I'm like, fuck!
I did that.
You can't unsee it.
I did that on accident with the last season of Breaking Bad because I waited till the whole season came out and I just pressed play and it took me to the last episode. And then I watched the episode and I'm like, this is weird.
You watched the whole thing?
I didn't because the last season jumps in weird, right? Like
you thought it was like a flash.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a crazy way to start the season.
What does this even mean?
It just ends with Walt die, and I'm like, wait a minute. What happened? I was like, why Jesse snitch? I was pissed. I was like, what's happening here? I was so confused. And then I went back and I was like, oh, they ruined it. Why did that Netflix do that?
Maybe somebody watched it on your account.
No one did.
That's
no, truly.
weird.
I think it was just because I started watching it the day the last episode came out. And I just defaulted or whatever. It sucked.
Dude.
I was like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yours is just as bad as mine. I didn't think you'd be able to match it, but you did because
it's literally the best finale of any TV show.
And you saw the whole thing.
I was like, what?
You watched the whole thing. And it's funny because the whole time you're watching it thinking, I wonder how they're going to explain all this. This is the first episode.
Flashback. And then I watched the first episode of that season and I was like, it still kind of doesn't make sense.
Well, and what's funny about that is because they split it up when the show came out. It was split into 2 seasons. So season 5A, season 5B, and it was 8 episodes each. And they didn't know when they wrote the beginning of season 5 what the reason was for all that. So when Walt, it's his birthday and he's 52 and he goes out there and he opens up his trunk. It's all this stuff they're showing you. They didn't even know what that meant when they wrote it. Just like a lot of the flash around stuff. The only time they really actually knew what they were doing in Breaking Bad is the whole season 2 thing when they're building up to the plane crash. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that they planned 100% that was planned out. But that's the only time. And then the fact that they knew what they were doing with Walt. But so much of that show is a great example of just great writing is just going with the flow and trusting your instincts because they had no fucking clue what they were doing.
Really? Because I like Breaking Bad. I hate Vince Gilligan as a
really?
writer. I really hate him as a writer.
I haven't seen Pluribus.
I think Pluribus season 1, I think Breaking Bad season 1 are 2 of the most boring seasons of TV.
I heard a lot of people say they didn't like Pluribus, and that kind of made me not want to watch it because I was worried I would feel like that.
He's just such a slow, redundant writer.
Yeah.
It's just
but don't you think that's a slow burn type thing, building towards something?
I guess, but I feel like that's a optimistic outlook on what you're forced to have.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad could have been reduced to 3 seasons.
Really?
I think so. I think a lot of that shit gets redundant. It's oh, you're still selling meth? Stop that. You got cancer.
And you feel the same way about Better Call Saul or no?
No. I think Better Call Saul is a little bit better.
I think it was slower, though.
I think slower paced for sure. I mean, it's a show about a lawyer.
Yeah.
It's as fast paced as it could have been. But I think Saul had an element that made it more compelling because it was different cases every time. He could add new elements. Whereas every time Walt was still just going to sell meth.
Yeah.
And he was still going to have cancer.
I would argue that Better Call Saul is far better written than Breaking Bad.
I think the second they killed Hank, that show was over.
Yeah.
Because that was
and again one of the best
episodes.
episodes.
That was the most compelling reason to be afraid in that show.
Yeah.
And then everything beyond that, it was like, I'm the one who knocks.
And also, I would say, too, I didn't fully buy the Nazis as, like, the ultimate end villain for Walt. Because it doesn't really, if you're following the narrative of the show, to me, that doesn't make sense as, like, the ultimate bad guy that he's going to have to go against.
Because you take that ending, but you put it as Hank.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead,
that would have been better.
Better show.
And that seemed like what they were going to do. That was kind of the swerve. Because the way they set, I mean... When season 5 is the one I got to see live, and it was so cool because you didn't expect it to just, you thought it was going to be cat and mouse with Walt and Hank for the whole season.
Yeah.
But then episode fucking 1, where you have that garage scene where immediately you have the confrontation and a punch in the face. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like they immediately acknowledge it. They're going at each other. You thought it was going to be like, you know, detective and Walt's dodging him and he's spying on Walt. Fuck no, he told him everything. But that was actually a bad move. And in a way, it's good writing because Hank would do that because Hank has his flaws.
Sure.
So Hank, even though he's a great detective and even all that, he's so caught off guard by this, which wouldn't you be, that he's like, oh, this fucking piece of shit. He's my family. Yeah, he's just fucking piece of. But and you could argue that's what spirals it all out. I just don't like that it's the Nazis because this whole idea of like these ruthless guys come along and it's kind of like a stock villain in my mind.
Sure.
Like it could have been anybody. You just chose, and also the fact you choose Nazis. It's like, who's the worst possible person we could like? What's the worst archetype of a person we could fill this with?
I don't know. I think if you meet enough meth heads.
Nazi meth heads, though. It's Nazi meth heads. It's the absolute worst.
But let me pose this question to you: who else is on the top of the ring of meth heads?
You're right. Who
it's
runs?
It's not Colombians. It's not Venezuelans. It's not Puerto Ricans.
They ran through it all.
It's not Irish.
Yeah, and that wouldn't have been cool. The Irish come in for season 5.
The IRA comes to kill him. Like what? Like
okay, you got me there.
Yeah, it's gonna be white supremacists.
And they already did cartel.
Yeah, white supremacists are the one who cook and sell meth.
Okay, so I'm coming around on that. And I think Todd is a great character.
Yeah,
I mean that's kind of the introduction of Jesse Plemons for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Also character. Known as Meth Damon.
It was a great show. It just was too long. And long. I do think Breaking Bad was stuck in that era of Game of Thrones. Yes. Where it was like, oh, they killed Ned Stark. No one saw that coming.
Well, actually, I think it ended right around the beginning of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones started in 2012.
I think there was some overlap.
But it's like, season 5 is 2012 and 2013.
But they only needed season 1 of Game of Thrones for like that like death of Ned Stark.
Yeah.
To like really shock people. And I think people just started throwing out deaths in shows too often. And I think Breaking Bad got to that too much. Once they killed Gustavo, it was like, that's cool. That's a confrontation. Like, we wanted to see that. And then they're like, all right, let's just kill everyone that comes in the way. Like, no one sticks around. No one perseveres and is a rival gang. Like, it just felt too easy.
So, is that your main complaint with Vince Gilligan, or you got something else? Is it just that he's too slow? I just think he's
a slow writer that drags things out. You know, like, it's like, he could have added more compelling things. I mean, there could have been more law enforcement that was competent, you know? Like, it didn't have to be, oh, you want my meth formula? Well, I'm the chemist. Like, every time was the structure and format of all the villains, all the reasons. And then everyone that found out was just like, all right, well, I guess I'm part of this now. It's like, what the fuck? No one has qualms. Skylar stayed the whole time. Fuck her. Like, have some self-respect, girl. Leave. Like,
well, shout out Walt Jr.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Dad.
That, I think, was the most compelling character to me in Breaking Bad was Walt Jr. It's like, finally, someone who has no reason to fight back. He's doing it for you. Like, you need money. You can't possibly provide for yourself. You're already doing terribly in life. You already want to kill yourself for no reason. Like, and now you're going to go against your drug lord father. I love that. I love that.
I really like the scene where he calls him and he's like, son, you know, I got the money for you. I'll send it to, he's trying to arrange it. And this is after he's long gone. He's away. This is right before the episode you accidentally watched, you know, the what do you call it when it's right before the finale? the pre-finale. There's a word for that, but the semi-final. I don't know what the word is. The episode that's right before that, the penultimate episode. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But that one, he calls him right before the end, and that was his plan. He was going to give himself up to law enforcement, and he was going to call his son. And that was going to be him his come to Jesus moment. And so he calls his son and says, "I'm going to give you the money. This is where the money is." He says, oh, "My dad's right here. Fuck you, dad." Hangs up the phone, and he's Walt just kind of cries. He's kind of sad. He just goes to the bar. He's going to wait for law enforcement. Then he sees the gray matter thing on TV, and the ego sparks up. And also, they used the theme of the TV show in that moment, which was fucking awesome, because they never used the full theme ever. Like they made a full song for the theme, but you only ever heard the first like bow 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 bow. But they played the whole thing out. So before you even realize you're hearing the theme, boom, you realize you're hearing the theme, and your mind is blown. So that's a great moment. That actually could have been the finale right there. If you just end the episode with Walt leaving and it's open-ended, like, he was going to give himself up and then he didn't. Because I actually feel like, and a lot of people had this theory, the final episode is almost too good to be true. It's almost too like, oh, so he just walked around the city and was able to do all this. Yeah. It almost feels like it's like a fantasy, like it's like the fantasy. And what's interesting, it reminds me of the end of Taxi Driver for some reason, where I'm sure you've seen that movie. Martin Scorsese says the end of that movie, it was literal, and that it's not supposed to be a dream, it's not supposed to be fake, it's literal, it's real. So at the end of the movie, you're thinking that this guy is incarcerated or something happened to him, but instead he's driving a taxi again and everything's all good. And in the viewer's mind, you're thinking, oh, this is like some dream-like scenario. It's like a fantasy. But then Martin Scorsese answers about it. He's like, no, it's totally real. It's like, it's real. It's the totally literal reality of the movie, which makes no sense. And so I feel like storytelling, you just break your own rules every now and then.
People act like it's harder to get away with crime than it is. Like, a lot of people get away with crime and are living perfectly fine that you don't know about. Like, there's so many people who are committing crime successfully.
That's what you don't hear about. The murders that don't get solved.
Not everyone gets caught. So I do like that element of just like, he's fine. Like,
that is true. Yeah.
Like, some people get away with shit. Like, people act like every villain has to die at the end of a movie. It's like sometimes they just get away with it.
Yeah.
That would have been a more compelling and more interesting writing to me, is if he lived a happy life.
And no one really gets to know how it goes.
Yeah, he just like walks away from it. That would have been way more interesting to me.
I think so. Because again, it's like the fairy tale. Like, I don't think Breaking Bad, I think the writing is airtight, but I don't think it ever really set itself up to be a show that would have a hopeful ending. It always felt like it was going to be
so much more devious if it just ended with Walt, full head of hair, next to Skyler. Walt Jr.'s got a begrudging smile on his face. They're at a kid's party. Some little girl. It was like, I want to be a scientist. And he was like, I used to be a chemist. And it just cuts. That would have been way more interesting to me.
Yeah.
It's just that psycho's loose on a neighborhood. That's so...
But
so
you know
much more
what?
compelling.
The problem is, too, I think they wanted it to be a closed loop. That's another part. Because they didn't want any room for, is he going to come back? Is it going to be a sequel? Are we going to see?
Which I do respect.
Yeah, because, dude, it's everything. It's everything ever now. Yeah. Everything's got to be open. It's got to be open-ended.
Well, even
there's got to be room for more.
Even if he didn't do it, someone else would have bought the IP eventually.
That's exactly it. I think he was trying to save himself. Yeah. And then he ends up doing it anyways with making the Jesse Pinkman movie that didn't have to exist.
It wasn't good.
I thought it was well directed, and it just felt like a long episode of Breaking Bad that you didn't need.
Yeah, it was fine as a movie. It did not need to be part of Breaking Bad. Like, it could have just been by itself.
And again, like that fairy tale thing. Like, so Jesse Pinkman's just this gunslinger now who just saves the day, and I guess that's the angle we're taking.
Yeah.
It almost was better when you don't know, when he's just riding off in the sunset in the car. That's almost what I wish it just had always been.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. And Better Call Saul actually did such an excellent job at not overindulging and like giving too much of that Breaking Bad stuff.
Yeah.
They actually did a good job at just giving you a little bit of Breaking Bad and not, because I think what all this stuff tends to do is they try to feed into the lore and make it bigger. Whenever you're like reviving an IP, you're doing this thing, but you actually kind of take away from the original story when you add to the original story too much.
Yeah.
Like, it was already fine. You didn't have to add all these layers. Like with Scream, did you follow these movies?
No.
So when the movies came back, 5 and 6, because it was like Wes Craven had done the first 4. So it was the first 3 are kind of in like a 5-year succession. 4th one comes about 10 years later, and the 5th one comes about 10 more years later. But Wes Craven died between the 4th and 5th one, so it's different people taking over. And they do this thing where they're trying to connect it to the original story. And so, like, the main character is the secret love child of one of the characters from the original film. And it's like, okay, you just have to accept. You have to elevate your suspense and accept that that's something that can happen, because it's like the first movie, that idea was never presented at all. Like, that's not, it's just kind of annoying, because then you go back and watch the first movie and, oh, well, but the whole time this was actually it. But no, it wasn't. Like, they just made, that's a retcon. They just made that up way later to make another movie. And if it was the original creator, I'd be okay with it. But it's not the original creator. It's these other people. Oh, you know, it'd be good. And it's like, that's not. It's like Star Wars. Like all these new Star Wars movies. There's a universe where George Lucas made the new Star Wars movies that he wanted to make, and I can only imagine what they would have been. They would not have been the Disney movies. It would have been something. It wouldn't have. Maybe we wouldn't have liked it. It could have been received like the prequels, and everybody would have been like, oh, why'd he do this? Yeah. And I actually would have preferred that so much more, because it would have been George Lucas. Yeah. He fucking gave us Star Wars in the first place. I just don't. I feel like every time it happens, without fail, you'll have people make something great, and then slowly it transforms. And if you look at what it was that the people who made it great just kind of lost the creative control of it over time. They weren't the ones. They weren't the ones in charge after a while. You know?
I mean, that's how corporations go. Like, people forget that the entertainment is funded by something, and then like people just make it profitable. That's their entire job. Like, there's entire agents in the industry who all they care about is making money for their clients. Yes, and they have to be like, yeah, but if you made a Disney movie, you could retire, and so could your grandkids. Like, yes, yeah,
and that's why I think this whole thing with brand loyalty and all this it sucks, because people love something genuinely, and they love it because of what it is to them.
Crazy with, like, do you follow One Piece at all? You ever?
No, but did something happen with that?
Well, like, they're doing it with like the live action now, and now it's like
with Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix, and now they're doing like promotions with the Dodgers, the Lakers. They're doing all this stuff, and it's like the One Piece live action. They're like, in the second season, they've already brought in a character that isn't introduced to the show till 10,000 episodes or 1,000 episodes in, and it's like
they're adapting a ridiculously long.
And it's like, if you're gonna follow something's IP that's successful, stick with what was successful, because if you're gonna tweak it, you're gonna make it worse. It's always happened.
Every time, because the thing is, even if the choice is motivated and it's good, it's just so hard to get in the head of like the original intent and the original creator.
The people that are tweaking it are never people like, I love this, I respect it so much, I want to make it better. It's all people like, well, I got paid to do this, so we're gonna make what the studio wants.
Well, and that's why I hate this trend of video game movies. I mean, now it's the new Super Mario movie. That's the latest one. I could have told you when they announced the casting of the first one what was going to happen, because it's this trend where, I mean, we're talking about a 3D animated movie, and it's for kids. Kids don't give a fuck if Chris Pratt is in the movie. I promise. They don't care. They're going to see Mario. Yeah. That's what kids care about. So get the original voice cast of Mario. Isn't this like the perfect opportunity to get all these people who've been doing Mario for years on the games to get them paid, get them in a fucking cinematic movie? It really sucks we don't respect
voice acting in America.
Not at all.
Like Japan does.
Unless it's some big name that everybody knows.
Well, like, no, there's no like training for voice acting. There's no like emphasis on like putting emotion into just your voice,
and it's a talent.
Yeah, it's an amazing talent. Like, great Japanese like voice actors are so talented. Yeah, versus just like, oh well, it's Chris Pratt.
And the thing is,
like, he's gonna do his voice, cool,
and he did his voice. That's what I was gonna say. They don't even do the character. They just do their voice. That's probably what they're directed to do.
You're not acting.
The director's
You're just
probably like,
doing your voice.
Listen, Chris, we know that you want to do your own Mario thing, but public's not going to like that. Just do you, Chris. That's what they know you for.
They should just call it
what they told him.
They should just call it voiceovers. Like that's what it is. It's not acting of any kind.
And what's frustrating to me about it is that's the whole trend. It's not even about the IP. It's not about respecting the fans of the thing. It's about selling tickets to people who are the casual audience who would have paid to see these actors no matter what they were in. Yeah. That's like the Borderlands movie. That was another major failure. And the other thing I have to keep in mind, because this is something I think I saw like the Critical Drinker say this, but Hollywood is always about 3 years behind the curve because that's how long it takes to make a movie. So a lot of this stuff they're probably conscious of, and they're just trying to adapt, and they have all these movies that they've already made that they have to put out, but they do it like it's the Disney live actions, and it's these video game movies where they just keep making them and they never do well ever. But they just keep making them over and over, and everybody always has the same complaints every single time, and they just do the same exact thing every single time. But I don't understand this idea of I get it, I guess, if you're in a boardroom, but once it stopped working the first time, I mean, maybe it was Jumanji that made them think this was a good idea. I'm trying to think of the one that was successful where it worked. Because, I mean, I guess maybe first Super Mario movie was successful, I guess. This one is not doing so hot. But it's the same thing as the first. It's the same problems. It's not a movie. It's literally not even a movie.
Yeah.
It was never supposed to be a movie. I won't forget the last time I went to a theater and I sat down and I watched a movie where I was like, this isn't even a movie. And it was Cocaine Bear. I went and saw Cocaine Bear in theaters and I was like, what the fuck was that?
It's so bad. It had no reason being a movie.
Phenomenally bad.
Yeah.
Like, I actually couldn't believe it because the promotion was good. They made it seem like it was going to be something.
They put a good amount into it.
Ray
for
Liotta.
Sure. Yeah. It's crazy.
And then you go into it. The ending sucks. The whole thing just kind of doesn't even have a cohesive narrative.
It's just a bear on cocaine.
There's like a scene or two that's good. It's really just someone had a good sketch idea and somehow they fucking got Ray Liotta on board and they were able to advertise the hell out of it, and then they got me to see it. That was what, because
so many people, anyone that did cocaine was like, well, I'll give it a chance.
I wanted it to be good. I was like, oh my gosh, Cocaine Bear, that's funny. Like, this could be really good. And then I saw it and I was so taken off guard.
It wasn't even like Sharknado bad. It was like, all right, let's forget this movie happened.
Yeah, it was forget this movie happened bad. It was not even novel. Another movie I saw in theaters that I didn't love, but it was okay, was Elvis. I saw that in theaters, but I remember I saw it with my mom and a bunch of other people. It was like a girls group and me.
The one with Austin Butler?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was just so long. That was what it was. I didn't like that I was in the theater because it was like, oh, if I watched this at home, I could have stopped it and started the next day. Like, damn, this movie's fucking long. I want to say it's like it has no business being 3 hours long.
Yeah, we got to stop making Elvis movies.
And then Austin Butler talking like this after the movie.
I mean, he just
kept talking like this in all the interviews. Do you believe that when they say that my voice is stuck like this now? Like, if I just started talking like this, I said it was for a role, would you believe me?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's funny because I get why actors do that, but it shows that they're crazy people too.
Oh yeah,
so you're telling me your voice is just different now. All right, you're crazy.
He's a crazy person for sure. Yeah, he's
good for
wild.
you. I mean, you do sound sexier.
Yeah,
but you're
a sexy
crazy
guy. You can't deny it.
I mean, and I think what it is, because it's different than method acting. It's like if you're acting for a role, how I've just heard it described is like you're trying to emote as an actor, and you don't want to be putting on the voice as you're emoting. So it's actually better to just stay with the voice for as long as you can. Yeah. And then when you act, you're just doing that on top of the voice that you were already doing. But that's why when you hear Christian Bale yell on set, he's like breaking in and out of his American accent. Why are you fucking with the lights? He's like trying his best to stay in his American.
He does what he can. I mean, why wouldn't you though? It's fun to fake a voice.
Oh, dude, there was I think. Back to Breaking Bad, Aaron Paul, I remember him saying in an interview that when he was starting out acting for the McDonald's drive-thru, he would do accents as acting practice, which is hilarious.
That's good. Why not?
just testing that out over what I used to do when I worked at McDonald's is I would talk as fast as I possibly could when I would read off the orders.
Okay.
And it was a very divisive thing. Like half the people loved it, and half the people hated it.
Sure.
And that's what makes it great, you know? Because half the people are like, hell yeah. They have to be like, what? The fuck did you say?
Slow down.
Slow it down for them. They get mad. You know, like, you got too many doubles. You know, every single time, you know. Dude, I think it's great.
It's fun.
Well, you know, and it's efficient. That's what I'm thinking. The efficiency.
You're doing your job the best you can.
It's fun. You get to read things fast. I could be an auctioneer in another life. Those guys amaze me.
Yeah.
Because they're doing it. They have a rhythm. Like, what I don't understand is how they fill the blanks. They seem to have a certain technique. Yeah, because it's like 25, 25, going 25, 25, 25, looking for 35, 35, 35 big, you go over there, blah, 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 blah. See, I don't know. I can do it, but I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be saying. Like, they're good at filling it all in with bullshit. Like, you ever listen to an auctioneer?
Yeah. Just in between.
You can't just say a number over and over.
25.
Can I get 10 more? Can I get 10 more? Looking for 5 more. Looking for 5 more. Looking for 5 more. You know, you can have a big Monday, can have a big Tuesday, can have a big Wednesday. You know, how are you doing this? It's sunny outside.
30 and I'm flirting.
I would just start making shit up.
30 and I'm flirty.
30 on flirty. I would just start throwing in like catchphrases, movie quotes.
Is there enough time to say the N-word? What's happening?
Slip in some slurs.
He's like, what the fuck? He's calling me Puerto Rican? What the hell?
Well, man, I do this for longer, but I got another podcast right after you. So this has been a pleasure. I know you and I are not far away from each other, so you're always welcome to come back on the show.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if there's anything we should make sure to talk about right before you get out of here. I mean, probably at least like the whole Cannabesties show, right?
Yeah.
So what is Cannabesties if nobody's ever heard of it before?
We run a show at a dispensary. It's at the Rise at the Salt Shed.
Okay.
So Salt Shed, everyone knows that. It's a great music venue in the city. They have a bunch of little stores there. We're in the dispensary in one of their things. It sits like 40 to 50 people.
Nice.
And then...
is it 420 friendly indoors?
You're allowed to vape in the store, and then you're allowed to smoke right outside in the Salt Shed, right on like the river, because it's over in like Goose Island, and there's nice benches and stuff, but you can't smoke in the venue. But we do have... I forget what it's called. It's like a Zenko. It's usually on site, which is where you just put like a dab cartridge in, and they'll give you like straws. So we always give that, and then like we'll give like free edibles, and like free pre-rolls and stuff for shows. And if you buy like VIB, just our very important besties, you get like premier seating, free. Like an infused cannabis drink, stuff like that. So it's just a fun comedy show where people get high.
How long you guys been doing that?
Now we just had our year anniversary.
Nice.
So now we're going
and
on
it's
too.
Bigger and better every time type of thing.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
we just came back from our hiatus.
How does it? How does all like the weed stuff play into the comedy and all that? Does it tend to?
Some people get high. We don't force anyone to. Obviously, it's
you have to be high to perform.
Like we don't want to like make people like freak out on stage and like have a bad show. So if people are comfortable getting high, they get high. Like last show, Quinn, my co-producer. At the beginning of the show, and I did not tell them to do this. No one asked them to, but they did it anyways. They took a 100 milligram edible to start the show. That's what they do.
Brave.
I accidentally hit the Zenko too hard, so I was too high for my side. But some people didn't smoke at all, and it's fine. But as long as everyone's having fun, if you want to smoke, come out. If you don't, that's also fine.
And how often?
It's monthly show. You can check out our Instagram page, CB Comedy Show, Cannabesties. Just look us up, and then it has everything on our link tree.
So the show is clearly for 3 to 5 year olds. That's my core audience. That's who watches this. The kids. The show is for the kids. As you see this vapor leak out of my mouth from our break, the show is for the kids. So we always do advice for the kids at the end of the show. All right. We want the kids to come out of this wiser than they were when they walked in. And we've achieved that with our conversation, but we're doing that with the cherry on top at the end that you will provide with the knowledge inside of your mind. I don't know what it is. You got it in you. You're going to bust it out on them. And second, the social medias, where people can find you. You already mentioned Cannabesties and how all that is and where they can go for that. But just everything, any possible way they could find you on the interwebs, this is your chance to plug it all. The floor is yours.
We'll start with socials. You can just find me at Teddy S Hill on everything. It's just TikTok.
I always read it
Instagram.
as Teddy Shill, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought that was intentional.
It's my middle name is Sebastian, so it's just Teddy S Hill. And I was like,
No one's ever told you that before?
I always read it as Teddy's Hill. That's how I took it. So I haven't gotten Teddy Shill.
Again, maybe that says something about me.
Someone took Teddy Hill. So it's literally a lady who just posts dogs on Instagram.
Isn't that the worst?
And then just some random Asian woman on TikTok. And I can't get either of them. I've messaged both of them tons of times.
The one that's like just Ruse is an account that doesn't even do anything. It drives me nuts.
So annoying.
I am Ruse official, not by choice.
I report both accounts daily. I'm not kidding. I'm waiting for them to crumble.
Maybe that's what I gotta start doing.
It's been a year. It has not worked.
That is so
still
funny.
trying. It's so funny.
I never thought of that.
I guess my advice for the kids would be, I don't know. You just gotta try something. Like I started comedy when I was 26, and started like so late, and the whole time I would just like amp up. What is this going to be like? Like if I fuck up at an open mic, will a Netflix producer ban me from ever having a Netflix special? Like all these crazy thoughts in my head. And it was only like when I started doing things and like trying it and failing at first that I get any better at anything at all. So just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to fail at it.
Right? Yeah, because it's not going to be that big a deal once you're used to it. Like, I fail at open mics every week, constantly.
And I feel like failure is just part of the process if you're being realistic.
Yeah.
Like, you just learn that. It's just part of everything. Even, like, creating things, not everything has to be the best thing. Yeah. Like, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to top yourself. It doesn't have to be amazing. You don't have to prove that you're the greatest. Just do good. Just do what you think is good right now.
No one, this... like fake myth of like there was like Dave Chappelle was great at his first open mic or whatever. It's like it didn't happen. You just didn't know about Dave Chappelle. I promise you, no one was paying attention to Dave Chappelle till he got good.
And also just all of this, I think the myth of we are what we are now as we were always. It's just not true. Like we're always constantly changing, and all these performers you respect, it took all that failure and all that not being what they are that you respect to become what you respect. Yeah. You know, like
going back to your buddy, like when I first started stand-up, I thought the same thing. I was like, what if this 4-minute set isn't perfect? People won't like me or respect me or whatever. But like now I host an open mic every week, and I promise you, I do not know, even the people I like, I do not know a single word they said the entire time. I'm not paying attention unless it's really good, and then I get a laugh, but even then I don't like memorize it, you know, like I'm not taking it home with me. It just doesn't happen. Like it's just not how people normally process conversations, which is like what like most things are when you do them in person. It's like it's just part of your day. Yeah. And like it might sound out that it was a fun night or whatever, but like people aren't gonna remember everything you say.
I think you remember the idea of things. Like you remember how they made you
quote,
feel.
You know, like people might have one quote from you that they remember. That last line, that last tag, that last rhyme, whatever, that might be great. Yeah. But no one's remembering everything you do. So just try. Like it doesn't matter.
And I think so much of it's just your energy, like in that people not remembering everything you do. Like they remember your energy more than they remember what you say.
Yeah, the way you hold yourself. Yeah. Like if you're having fun doing what you're doing, will always be more important.
It's like it's that. I think that's what makes us human, is we can just feel that stuff. I think that's why I love doing this in person, and I would never do it any other way, because it's like, unless I had to, because that happens. You know, you can feel that. And you can't recreate that through anything else. It's like we just feel each other as people. And I think a lot of that comes from like, if you're a performer, you have to be open with yourself to be open with other people. Like in order to get that, whatever you want from the audience, you cannot reject yourself from the start. I think you just have to have that yes and improv mentality with your own ideas and just go. And that's when you're really going to have the most fun, and it's going to go where you want it to go. Yeah. It cannot be, I mean, you just can't. I think putting guardrails and stopping yourself, it's like the source of all the bad things in creativity. It's where it all goes wrong. Yeah. As soon as you start losing that childlike creativity, that wonder, and you start telling yourself, oh, I can't do this.
You need that perfectionist drive to like keep going, but like you can't rate daily performance on a perfectionist scale.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you have to accept that there's just gonna be a day, like it's gonna go how it's gonna go.
And like I was saying before, if you think long term, bigger than the moment, that's what that is. Like, this is actually, I need this, so I'll go back up later. Like it's actually good that we're down right now because I can't be up forever. Like
chasing your dreams is just harder because like there's more at stake.
Yeah,
you're like, if this doesn't work out, what do I have left? But it's not gonna work out for 15 years. So like,
and then when it works out, you'll think, oh damn, I kind of liked all that time I was spending.
Yeah, I was rushing through it. Like to just enjoy it.
Well, that's awesome. That was beautiful advice.
Oh, thank you.
Look at us, we're little gurus.
Amazing.
And with all that being said, folks, that has been all here today on Radio. Clocking out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess. It's